The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Just how bad is bad for the New York Jets? Why yesterday's loss was not just your typical Jet loss. We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Justice numbers are not good from this game. Is he going to be your quarterback next week, or would you consider?
Man, what kind of question is that?
How much worse can it get for Aaron Glenn's Jets team? Can he salvage this season and give us something to be excited about? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, Jet fans. Before we bring on our esteemed guest, Tanky V, Frankie V from uStadium, the gang's all here pod with the New York Post, we officially have our watch party for the Jets and the Bengals. Free event. We'll include a halftime raffle. If you show up, we'll enter you in there, but you have to RSVP so I know who to enter in that raffle. There's a link that is in the description for the show you're watching right now. Come join us. Goldies Tavern's a great spot. We will have a good time, win or lose. Maybe the Jets win. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, we're going to have fun commiserating either way. So if you want to join us in New York City at a great spot right down the block from Penn Station, come out and watch the Jets-Bengals game with me and the Asmaniacs at Goldies Tavern. With that said, let's say hello right now to a guy who's got to be absolutely thrilled with the state of the New York Jets. They right now are all by themselves at the top of the NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanky V. Hello, Frankie. How we feeling?
Man, what a beautiful Monday it's been. It's unbelievable. I mean, everyone out there, isn't this what we wanted? I mean, this is perfect. We could pick anyone we want. I said it last week. We like this Fernando Mendoza kid. There's a bunch of players out there. Let's go. It's time is now. Dante Moore, do you like him? I mean, the savior isn't obviously anyone at One Jets Drive now. The savior is someone in college, maybe even in high school. There's a savior. Maybe it'll be the number one pick in a few years. But no, man, all jokes aside, thanks for having me on. Yesterday was brutal, terrible. As a fan, it's just I was listening a little bit with you and Joe B, and I'd said this with Ryan on Gangs and with people at uStadium. This is rock bottom, but whenever we say it's rock bottom, we can go a level deeper. Yeah, keep digging. Gets a level deeper and deeper. Really disappointing game yesterday. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get all into it, but I'm just pissed off, man. And I'm getting to the point that the apathy stage is coming and I'm basically there where I don't care. Like, I was going to make a video with Ryan about bench Justin Fields for the sake of the locker room. I don't even care. Keep him in, get the number one pick or bench him, whatever. Like, I almost don't care at this point. But again, thanks for having me on, and appreciate all the Asmaniacs and everyone out there.
Well, that's the problem, right? Because someone like you who loves this team and covers this team, like that feeling of apathy, year one of this regime already. And for that to be a real thing, it's a major concern. And then, like, even bigger picture, right? Like, okay, they get the top pick. Frankie, you have any faith in Aaron Glenn, this coaching staff, Darren Muji, to one, pick the right player, and two, even if they pick the right player, put that player in the best scenario to have success, right? Because they picked the right player with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a really good quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback. They failed Sam Darnold. That now has been proven. I have zero faith in this regime getting it right with the quarterback selection and then surrounding the quarterback with what he's going to need to be successful, whether that be players, an offensive line, weapons, and most importantly, coaching. Because we're seeing guys all around the league go into the right environment and have success. And I think that, to me, is the most alarming part about all this. Watching Aaron Glenn stumble and bumble his way through that game yesterday not have any clue how to handle the clock at the end of the first half, not have any feel for the moment at halftime to go to Tyrod, after the third quarter, in the fourth quarter to go to Tyrod, to then double down on it again today, to give attitude to your co-host on the post-pod, Brian Costello, when asked about making a quarterback change for this week. There were just so many things yesterday with Glenn where it's just like, who cares if they get the number one pick? If the head coach is this bad, it's not going to matter. This team will never turn it around if your coaching is this inept. And I'm about as down on any I'm about as down on Glenn as I've ever been on any Jet coach in their first year, minus Gase, who never should have been hired in the first place.
Jake, the Jets had zero reason or zero excuse to not win yesterday. Zero. They were the only team ever, shout outs to Michael Nania. They were the first team ever in the Super Bowl era to have zero turnovers, to take one away, plus to commit 2 or less penalties and hold their opponent to under 250 yards. That's happened 62 times in the Super Bowl era. Every single time the team has won, besides for yesterday. That game was on a silver platter. Every single move Aaron Glenn could have made, he made the wrong move. I've never seen this before. We burn a timeout to punt on 4th and 1, and they don't challenge the play. Then we go for a 4th and 1 to run the clock out. Like, it's just mind-boggling. 2 4th and 1 things that anyone that knows anything about coaching a team, or like you were saying on your previous show, playing Madden, I heard anyone is getting these simple decisions right. And I think we've hit a point, and I don't even care anymore. This coach, barring him just like turning this thing upside down and him looking like, I don't know, Bill Belichick, this coach is not fit, not prepared, not qualified. He was never qualified to be a head coach. Not only, though, is he a head coach, remember, he's got all the keys, which is the scariest part of this whole thing. He's not only the head coach, he's a CEO, he's the head guy, honcho. Muji's his sidekick, he's the GM. Woody Johnson paid a firm with your boy, Mike Tannenbaum, who's been pissing me off lately, but we'll talk about that behind the scenes. He paid him a boatload of money, millions upon millions or tens of millions of dollars to find this guy. This isn't going to be an easy split. It's not. It's not, because there's a lot of money invested into finding this guy. And I don't know what they were seeing. I don't know what Mike was seeing. I don't know what people at the 33rd team were seeing. I don't know what Woody Johnson was seeing. But stupid people, and I don't want to say they're stupid, but the quote is, stupid people make stupid decisions and hire up more stupid people. And, you know, the chain of events sort of follows, where the team is just stupid and you suck. And I'm not saying these people are stupid. They're not. But they just don't get it. They don't know how to hire the right football people. And I'm not giving Aaron Glenn any more benefit of the doubt. Woody Johnson needs to look in the mirror and say, hey, there's an opportunity cost here. There's sunk costs associated with this. If this guy cannot figure out a way to have this team, which has talent, I don't want to hear any comparisons to the freaking Lions and to Bill Cowher and Parcells he's bringing up. It's completely different. This team's got a ton of talent. You saw it yesterday with that defense. Jermaine comes back. Things change overnight. And some of these draft picks look pretty good. Malagoa had a great game yesterday. See how 1 week can make a difference for a rookie? Malachi Moore had a really good game. Mason Taylor didn't get targeted really, but Membu's been really good. So, like, even the rookies that just came in are performing pretty well. The vets that have been here, a bunch have been all pros. There is no excuse. You got to win one of these 6 games. You should have won probably 2, maybe 3.
And that's the difference between a team that has a real coach and doesn't. And that's why we could talk about, they need to bottom out and get a quarterback. If it gets that bad, right? If Aaron Glenn is overseeing a team that no one going into the year thought was going to be the worst team in football, if it's that bad, then how does he survive?
Jake,
unless Woody Johnson just doesn't want to pay to fire him and then have to hire another coach, right? Unless Woody wants to be cheap, there's no justification for keeping this coaching staff when you have the number 1 pick if it gets to that point. And right now, it's looking like that is a strong possibility of actually happening, Frankie, and that is an absolute disgrace. If you told any Jet fan they were going to start 0-6 at the beginning of the year, they would have said, you're too negative, you're a hater, you're wrong. AG is such a better coach than Saleh and Obrick
and we have talent and we're going to be able to win some games. And now for people to act like this team is bereft of talent, it's just not true, man. And they lost yesterday because of their head coach. You could blame Fields. That's fine. We know what he is. This was on the head coach who claims to not be a defensive coach. He claims to be a coach of the whole team. Any real head coach would have recognized what needed to be done and went to Tyrod at any point in that game, and the Jets would have a win right now.
Definitely. And Jake, if you look at the last 3 head coaches that have had the number 1 overall pick, they've all ended up getting axed. So Brian Callahan got axed today. He ended up with Cam Ward. The year before that, Eberflus ended up getting axed there. They drafted Caleb Williams first overall. The year before that, you're Bryce Young and got Frank Reich fired. And then you look at 2021, you had Urban Meyer, who ended up getting ousted when they had the first overall pick with Trevor Lawrence. So a lot of times, if you have the first overall pick as a head coach, your chances of sticking around right now are slim to none, it seems like.
But the problem is these teams made the mistake of allowing these guys to then come back with their respective teams and put their quarterback in jeopardy of being ruined, right? Like the Urban Meyer with Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward. All these situations are a little different, but I think the similarities to the Jet scenario, Frankie, is maybe the last 2, right? Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus should not have been allowed to hire, or Matt Eberflus, a defensive guy, should not have been allowed to oversee the development of Caleb with the different OC issues they had in Chicago. Brian Callahan, the same thing. Like, you need to have your quarterback and coach ideally on the same timeline. And if Glenn proves to be this inept, I'm sorry, I'm not letting him oversee the number 1 pick in the draft. There's no justification. Look what's happening here with the recent history, as you brought up, and I pulled up the Schefter tweet.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy that this coach is putting this team in a position to have the first overall pick, and it doesn't even seem like there's really any way out of this mess. It doesn't. There isn't. Sorry if I'm going in and out, by the way. I don't know if you're hearing me, but you're freezing once in a while. I don't know if that's happening, but if that's happening, I'll come back and come back.
You sound good to me. You want to reset your StreamYard and come right back?
Yeah, let me reset it. Something's going on over here. I'll be right back.
We'll get Frankie V back on in the moment. In the meantime, let me talk about today's raffle giveaway. We'll do a daily giveaway. End of the show, you pick the Jets jersey you want. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, or Quincy Williams. We'll give one away at the end of the stream. Tomorrow, we have our weekly raffle during our conversation with Robbie Sabo. So this is the last show. You have a chance to enter to win a signed Bart Scott jersey, signed Sauce Gardner jersey, and a signed Justin Fields jersey. Who wouldn't want that after yesterday's stellar performance? So those are the top 3 prizes in the weekly raffle. To be eligible to win, you could send in a $10 super chat or higher if you're on your phone, or gift a channel membership. And for every membership you gift the community, you are entered that many times in both the daily and the weekly raffle series. Okay, let's say hello again to Mr. Frankie V. Frankie, hopefully your internet's a little better.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over here. I think all this rain and what is it, nor'easter they're calling it? They canceled the parade today. I was supposed to go to the parade with some people I know. They canceled it. First time in 82 years.
I didn't know that. I'm going to the Knick game tonight. That's why.
You?
The only
There's a state of emergency in Manhattan, apparently.
Is there? Well, if they're playing basketball at the Garden tonight, I intend to be there, emergency or not. So I'll be at the Knick game watching a team that actually provides hope for me, unlike the New York Jets. But look, as far as the answer afterwards, I want to get your thoughts on this, because I'd argue, as bad as it was for Glenn to go out there and not bench Fields at any point, I think his attitude with Costello asking a totally reasonable question, how defiant Glenn was, I believe that exposes Glenn even more, because it tells me the thought of even benching Fields in that game didn't even come across his mind if he took this approach after the game yesterday.
Justice numbers are not good from this game. Is he going to be your quarterback next week, or would you consider?
What kind of question is that?
Look, he did not have a good game. I mean, I think it's a fair question.
There's a number of guys that, sometimes this league is like this, and there are guys that have bad games. That doesn't mean you just bench them. Come on, you know better than that.
Come on, Aaron Glenn. And then I thought the follow-up today was almost as bad, because this answer here just continues to prove that he's not a head coach. He's a good defensive coordinator who's acting as the head coach. This is not someone that I want to see overseeing the number 1 pick in the draft.
Aaron, is your commitment to Justin as strong as it was yesterday after the game, after going back and reviewing the tape?
You know what? Here's what, I thought about this a lot last night. I thought about the question that was asked. And when you look at what Justin did, the games that he played, listen, I didn't think he was bad at all. I actually thought he did some pretty good things in those 4 games. In this 5th game, he took a step back, and I'm with you guys 100%. And we can't have that. We have to get better than that. And he knows that. And he knows that better than anyone, so I don't think you just try to bench a player after having one true bad game, because I thought the other games he played fairly well.
That just tells me the coach doesn't have a clue, Frankie, because the Jets' production in garbage time is the only thing we could point to with Justin Fields playing well outside of week 1, which was the outlier game. Since week 1, the Jets have not scored an offensive touchdown until they've until they've fallen behind by 2 touchdowns. And that's furthermore proof after yesterday, because they didn't score a touchdown. You look at the week 2, they didn't score until they were down 30-3. That wasn't even Fields at that point. Week 3, the game I was at, they were losing 23-6. That was Tyrod. So whatever, we'll throw that game out. The Dolphins game on Monday night, they were losing 17-3 before they found the end zone. The Cowboys game, they were losing 30-6 until they finally found the end zone. So like Glenn could say, oh, I don't think he's played poorly. I think he's been playing pretty well. Like, come on, man. You could say that this was clearly his worst game. That's true. He was never this bad until yesterday. But I hear these quotes from the coach. Tells me he has no clue how to properly evaluate offense, properly evaluate the quarterback spot. And like, this is not a guy I'm entrusting the number 1 pick to. There's just no way.
Justin Fields, in 2 of the 5 games he's played this year, he has 1 game, he has 27 yards passing against Buffalo. 27 yards passing. I don't know what the net is. It's less than that. I think it was like 10 yards net. Then yesterday, he had negative 10 yards net, which is the most in 23, 27 years, and the most in Jets history, or the worst game in Jets history from a net passing perspective. Now, the problem with Justin Fields is, and this is always going to be his problem, he cannot process the field properly. He just can't. And even when he sees it, he doesn't get the ball out. His release takes too long. He doesn't have confidence in the pocket. This offense probably isn't meant for him. Also, Jake, that's something we need to realize. I've always said this. Justin Fields made no sense with a Tanner Engstrand offense. Not that we really knew what a Tanner Engstrand offense is, because it's his first time doing it. However, if you look at what Tanner did in Detroit and what they did with Jared Goff's an underneath dink and dunk, get the ball out quick, play within 7 to 15 yards tops. Justin Fields is the opposite. You want to read option him as much as you can. You want to get some quarterback scrambles in there, and you want to get the ball down the field. So I don't think they did a good job, Aaron Glenn included in that, in properly evaluating what Tanner wanted to do and if Justin was the right quarterback to do that. It really doesn't make any sense. Justin Fields needs literally almost the opposite offense. With that being said, also on this point, Jake, they didn't want to read option yesterday in the first half. Now, yes, Justin had a concussion a few weeks ago. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe Tanner Engstrand, who doesn't really like to run the read option because he never did. It's not like Jared Goff last year was running the read option. Breece Hall in the offseason. Remember, Breece Hall brought up, oh, I don't really like running the read option. Nobody there wants to run the read option. But you know what? Unfortunately for everyone there, the only way you're going to win football games is you're either giving that ball and stopping that end, or that end is crashing down and you're keeping it, Justin, and running the ball. That is the only way that offense is going to be at an above average level. There's nothing else you could do with this kid, Justin Fields, playing quarterback. He's not going to run a traditional pass pro system. He's not going to dink and dunk because he's inaccurate. Justin Fields can't throw a spiral. He's throwing balls. They're coming out wobbly. Receivers are doing pretzels. They need to take a gymnastics course at One Jets Drive to do what the hell is it called? The pinata? Not the pinata. What's it called? The limbo or whatever. You got to be the most flexible athlete in the world to catch some of these balls that Justin's throwing. He has no accuracy. Takes him forever to process. They got to, eventually they're going to move on from him. If Glenn was smart, if he wants to keep that locker room, he would have benched him at a point yesterday. And to your credit, I was listening to you on ESPN New York. You were right. You were the first one, actually, that brought up, when are you going to bring in Tyrod? You said it, I think, in the second quarter.
And do you remember what Tannenbaum was trying to tell me? He'd be like, well, they're in the game. And I'm like, Mike, he can't throw. Mike and I got into an argument on the air, Mike Tannenbaum and I, because he wanted to be more patient. And I'm like, Mike, I'm watching this guy not throw. And like, unfortunately, this is where being a Jet fan comes in handy. I've seen that exact version of that game from Zach Wilson or all these other horrific quarterbacks we've encountered, the Luke Falks of the world, you name it, right? Tim Boyle. I've seen that game a lot. So I knew what I was watching. And Tannenbaum's going to be loyal to his guy, Aaron Glenn, but the head coach cost him a game yesterday, Frankie. You're 1,000% on it. And here's the other thing I'll say too, because when you play on national TV and that happens, you now become part of the national conversation. Like the Jets sucking was like in our own Jet universe and people that cover the team and locally here. When it's that bad on a national scale, now you're a talking point everywhere. People talking about, could Aaron Glenn be one and done? Is this the worst team in the league? And even guys who played for the Jets, right? Who want to be pro Jet are coming out of the woodwork being like, man, this is not good. Victor Green basically said Aaron Glenn made huge mistakes yesterday. That's his former teammate who stuck his neck out over and over again on social media defending Aaron Glenn till yesterday. And then this was Damian Woody yesterday, or this morning, I should say, responding to a recap tweet from Rich Samini on Glenn's presser. He said, quote, how could anyone look at that game in real time and not consider a quarterback change? Your quarterback was scared to death to throw the ball. Matter of fact, I think he's petrified of throwing an interception, and he would rather take sacks, which are drive killers. This is Damian Woody saying that. And if, like, we all could see that, and a former Pro Bowler who played for the Jets is saying that, how does Aaron Glenn not see that? It's unacceptable, and it's why he needs to either turn this around or he's got to go. If this ends up being, a 2-15, 3-win season, first pick in the draft type of year, he can't be here. I'm sorry. I hate saying it. He's a franchise legend. He wanted the job. But if Woody's willing to sack up and write the check to make it go away, you have to do it because this is not acceptable. It's only going to get worse if you don't admit your mistake and bring him back for another year.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I'll say this. I did a little bit of digging into Aaron Glenn's pressers. I did a little investigative work. So I heard him last week say that they opened up in the second half and he thinks their defense, because he never really knows what's going on in the game, which is scary. Like the best coaches, they know exactly the yard line on what happened. He really has no idea what's happening, really. It's like a fan. It's like us out there. We kind of know, but we don't. That's his job. It's weird. He doesn't know. He said last week in the second half, he goes, oh, our defense opened up and, I think they punted 3 straight times. I knew it was only 2 because me and Ryan had spoken about it on Gangs All Here. So I go, it wasn't 3. He's saying he's like stretching the truth a bit to make himself look better. So I go, it was 3. It was 2. Sorry. It wasn't 3, Aaron. Your defense did not stop them. The Dallas offense in the second half, 3 straight times to punt. It was 2. All right. Then yesterday I tweeted about it. He goes, oh, it was a 45-yard field goal. Oh, no, it was a 68-yarder. It was a 65-yarder. No, man, it was a 62-yarder. 62-yarder. Okay, that's a big difference in a 68 or a 65. I would have tried the field goal. That's another conversation. Regardless, stretching the truth to look good with the media, right? And then today he said something else that was wrong. He goes, yeah, we went for it on 4th and 1 from, if we gave Denver the ball back on I think it was the 50. No, it was the 37. It wasn't the 50. It was your 37. It was not the 50. He and I'm picking up on this. Now, am I looking for it? Yeah, I am. But when that Cowboys thing was said, I knew nobody really picked up on it because it was something so stupid. But I'm like, this guy is backpedaling now where he's making up facts to help himself look better. Like he's covering his ass a little bit here. And I'm not going to let it down. You're not making up facts. The fact was it was a 62-yarder, Aaron. And I'd rather you try that 62-yarder, and who the hell knows if we get a gust of wind, a prayer, and that ball goes in. Nick had us 58-yarder in Miami. I know the conditions are different. I get that all. He's probably not making the 62-yarder, but it's a better chance considering, look at Nick Falk's history with 50-plus yard field goals. He's excellent. One of the best ever, actually, in NFL history. He's got a chance. He's going to lowball it. If it doesn't get blocked, it might pick up some air. You never know. It wasn't on the 50-yard line when you went for it on 4th and 1 where you caved in. It was on your 37, which was a stupid decision in and of itself. They should have just punted there, but whatever. They went for it, and then they And then on top of that, by the way, you know what the dumbest part of that is? Forget the Hail Mary, which is ridiculously moronic to not even consider one. You don't try a deep ball to Garrett Wilson, which if it gets intercepted, it's like a punt anyway.
Exactly. And
Just
Garrett
throw a
was
bomb
open.
to Garrett. Let Patrick Surtain pick it off. Who cares? You should have punted anyway, and you ended up just running the clock out. That's why Garrett was pissed. Let me make a play on the ball, man. Let me
Frankie,
make a play on the damn ball.
Spot on. And I know Darren Orlovsky said he reviewed the tape and Garrett Wilson's wide open. I mean, my untrained eye watching the game live saw Garrett open multiple times. I mean, there's screenshots going around of how open this guy was, and they don't throw the ball. It's insane. Like Fields just he is afraid of throwing an interception. That's why he didn't go out there and pull the trigger. And Glenn's got to have a feel for the game and recognize that. It's unacceptable. And what I mean, by the way, about this not being, your typical loss, now you got people like Warren Sharp highlighting how bad the before the half sequence was. You look like an absolute clown show of an organization. This is what Woody Johnson hired until proven otherwise. And unless it gets significantly better, I don't know how we could do another year of this. New England moved on after their franchise legend after just 1 year. They hired a real coach. They're going to make the playoffs this year. They're 4-2. You cannot let Aaron Glenn oversee the Fernando Mendoza pick or Lenora Sellers pick, whoever it is. You can't do it if it stays this bad. Now, I want to pivot quickly because we do have a Garrett Wilson injury update from Rich Samini.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Here's your update. Garrett Wilson underwent an MRI today and appears to have avoided a serious knee injury per source, but it probably still means some downtime. Worth noting, the Jets have 2 more games, Carolina and then at Cincy before their bye. Perhaps that factors into the timetable. This was my biggest fear going into the year. What happens if Garrett Wilson rolls an ankle, has to miss a couple games? We're about to see that fear play itself out. I'd be very surprised if Garrett plays this week, Frankie. I said that this morning.
Yep.
Now I feel even stronger with that opinion. This to me feels like he's down for probably these 2 games before the bye. We see him in that Browns game after the bye. I'm glad he's not going to be out long term, but they have no receivers. The one guy that was a great receiver for them, you now don't even have. This is going to be an absolute nightmare for this team offensively the next couple of games without Garrett.
Yeah, I love how Pittsburgh just came out publicly and basically stated through Adam Schefter, hey, we're looking for receiver help. Anyone out there got a receiver for us? They have DK Metcalf. They have some quality receivers too. Oh, we need more receivers. We don't, though, but going into the year. No, Justin Fields, he'll figure it out. We don't need to give him help. I mean, yeah, this will be a really fun little experiment. Justin Fields led offense with Tyler Johnson as a top 3 receiver on your roster. We'll see Arian Smith, who, by the way, didn't catch a pass yesterday, which is insane to think about. A kid that's got that much speed. You can't get him, a wide receiver screen? Let the kid touch the ball. Put him at kick returner or punt returner. I know the kid in Nakwe and Gakwe, whatever. I know he's really good, but get Arian Smith involved. Well, he might have to get involved now because I think Garrett's going to miss definitely a game, Jake. Definitely a game or 2 for sure.
It's just
anyway.
My fear.
Did you hear him in the post game yesterday? Did you see how pissed he was? Pissed.
Yeah.
Did you see when he brought up his leg injury? He goes, "Hey, we're gonna go. I'm gonna get an MRI," and basically said, "If I need to miss time, I don't give a shit."
Well, he's
basically what he said.
He called out Glenn right after the halftime debacle. He's open, and his college buddy's not throwing him the ball because he's afraid of throwing an interception. I mean, Fields was petrified for Aaron Glenn to sit there and lecture Brian Costello and call his question unfair is just complete asinine. And then his answer today continues to back my feeling that this guy is in over his head. He is drowning right now. He's not ready to handle this. He thinks he is because he's Aaron Glenn. I'm a Parcells guy. I called Bill this morning. Great. Great. You could call Vince Lombardi. Get a hologram of Vince Lombardi. He can give you all the advice in the world. He's not going to make you a good head coach. I'm sorry. Glenn came in gun-ho, so cocky, so confident. I wanted to believe, okay, maybe he does know what he's doing. And everything this guy has preached has been the total opposite of what we have seen so far. This team is as badly coached as any Jet team I've ever watched. And Aaron Glenn continues to double down on his mistakes, I have no faith in him turning this around. None.
Yeah, then there's no real self-awareness by him. I mean, he doesn't really read the room. He doesn't get what's going on. Listen, if you don't have a good answer, don't give one. Now he's trying to like give answers and give excuses. And again, he brings up this Dan Campbell thing that he was 112-1.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Exactly. Nobody gives a shit. A. B. If that's the only case study you can look at, anomalies in NFL history, which you happen to be a part of, that's not something that.
And he wasn't the head coach there,
he
right?
wasn't.
Like,
he makes it seem like it was his team, 100%.
it's insane. Like when, like Parcells could play that card when he was coaching
Definitely.
Aaron Glenn, because he got out to a terrible start his first year with the Giants. He was under 500. We looked at this morning on the first show with Beningo. He was under 500 his first year when he took over the Patriots in 1993, right? Like those guys were head coaches that had this experience they could point to. Glenn can't use his experience in Detroit as, well, it's going to turn around. You're not the head coach there. You weren't. You were the defensive coordinator. And let's be honest, your defenses were not that great. They weren't. They were not. The last memory of Aaron Glenn in Detroit is his defense giving up 45 points to a rookie quarterback and losing at home in the playoffs. Sorry, someone's got to say it. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, like we had our first turnover of the game, right? What was it? It was on the first drive, and we didn't get another one. Like, oh, we finally got a turnover. God forbid we got 2 or 3 in that game. No,
they didn't
way.
score a touchdown off it. They were
didn't.
gifted
They didn't
6
score
points
touchdown.
yesterday because of the turnover and then the Kene kick return. That's where 6 of the points came from. And out of the 11, they were basically handed to Justin Fields on a silver platter.
Yeah, Jake, they didn't even have an attempt in the end zone. Oh,
Same.
they didn't have one attempt in the end zone. It's not like you got to try in football. You know what football? I was thinking about it last night because it was so negative on the timeline. I turned my phone off. I thought about it. What is football? You know what football is?
Agony.
Oh,
pain.
No, what football is this?
This is football.
That's not football! That's not a man! That's a bitch!
He's right. But you know what football is? How do you maximize the amount of attempts that you have to score, to throw, or run into the end zone? And how do you minimize the opponent's ability to do the same? That's it. How you maximize it is attempts at the end zone. A Hail Mary at the end of the half. Who knows if a flagstone? Who knows if Garrett does some crazy stuff in the air? That's what Garrett does. We saw it on Halloween. We've seen it over and over again. Again, not maximizing those opportunities. How do you minimize opportunities for teams to score? You send pressure. You send some crazy blitzes. You do some things, some disguising with the defense. And I'm not pointing out the defense yesterday. I'm saying in general throughout the year. They don't do either. And if I have a head coach that is not able to get an offense, that wants to maximize the points and wants to minimize their ability to score, he ain't a good head coach. You'd rather cut your losses earlier rather than later. Also, if this was year 2 of Aaron Glenn
He'd be fired by now.
Yeah, we'd be calling for him to be fired. Exactly. I hate saying it, but it is what it is. Just call it a spade.
And I'll be clear, he's lost me. I don't think this is going to get that much better. But I hope I'm wrong. Like I am still not at a point where I'm going to sit here and say, well, that's it. We're screwed. They can't show any signs of improvement. Like this team still has 11 games left. I know we're like, oh my God, 11. And like to all of us, it's like crazy. That's the best thing for Aaron Glenn. He needs to show real improvement. And the improvement, Frankie, can't be winning 2 of your final 3 against a lousy Saints team and a Bills team playing their backups because they're the 1 seed and everything's locked up for them that last game of the year. The improvement has to start this week. And because Aaron Glenn didn't bench Justin Fields and Fields was able to throw late to Garrett Wilson, a nice hospital ball, he's not going to have Garrett in all likelihood this week. So good luck beating Carolina without him. Then you have Cincinnati, the bye week, Cleveland. You have to win some of these games, man. We can't be looking at a team that's 0-8 at the bye week and then be like, it's all good. We'll bring Glenn back next year. Year 2 is going to be totally fine.
Yeah, I know. We're in a weird situation, man, because I'm thinking the over-under for Aaron Glenn's job security is probably at that 3-win mark. Like, I think if they win 3 games, they'll find a way to convince everybody and in the court of public opinion that there's something that's going to happen here. Look at Dan Campbell, blah, blah, blah. We'll get that whole spiel and people will buy into it because people buy into whatever the Jets say, it seems like, if they really want them to. But if it's 2 1-15 or 1-16 or 0-17, which I don't think it'll be, by the way. But if it is, it could be 3 wins, though, is like that over-under mark, Jake. I mean, like, think about it, right? Like, I know it matters how they look. Yeah. I mean, they're not winning 6 games. So you lost that out, right? Like 6 is probably gone. 5 is probably the most. I wonder they were 5.5 before the year. Maybe Vegas wasn't so wrong. I mean, they were ranked. I mean, people are like, oh, they're ranked 28th in the power rankings. Yeah, they're actually worse than that. They're worse than the 27th or 28th best team. Sorry to say it. Because this head coach, nobody foresaw. This guy it's ineptitude. It just is. It is right now one of the worst head coaching jobs I've seen across any sport that I've ever been a part of. I'm including from my time in freaking Pop Warner. Like, and I know that's a weird thing to bring up, but like, I've never seen a team that has talent and the head coach is finding ways to put guys not in position to make plays. That is when he's going to lose the locker room. Garrett is not in a position to make a play before the half where he wants to be in. Breece Hall's not in a position. Did Breece Hall catch a ball yesterday? Would he catch a ball or two? That's crazy. He wants balls. Mason Taylor, 1 target for 1 catch, 2 yards. Are you putting your guys in a position?
What did you say about Breece?
What'd I say?
You said he wants balls?
Calm your freaky down.
Come on, man. The Jets are bad.
That's a pause.
That's a family show here.
What did Breece Hall? How many?
I'll give you a stat about Breece.
Breece Hall wasn't targeted yesterday.
I know. It was the first game in his career that he didn't have a target. The Jets are inept. They can't move the ball, right? How about a screen to Breece Hall?
Unbelievable.
One of your few guys on this roster on that side of the ball that's capable of making a play, right? It's either Garrett or Breece, maybe Mason Taylor. Nobody else is capable of making an explosive play right now. How about we throw a screen to Breece Hall and get him involved in the passing game if we can't do the forward pass? Can we do the lateral pass? That's allowed, Justin. Like, it's just like, it's coaching.
Run the triple option. Do a triple option pass. We used to do that in high school back in the day. Do a triple option pass. That's crazy though. Like, I thought he caught 1 or 2 balls yesterday.
No.
You know?
No balls.
Nothing. He was no balls, 0 balls. 0 balls for Breece. That's wild. He wasn't even targeted.
No.
Mason Taylor, your 2nd-round pick at tight end, who had a really good game a week ago. 1 target for 2 yards. He didn't have a target, I think, until the 3rd. Come on, what are you guys doing there? It's crazy. I don't want to hear the excuses that, Denver's pass rush was so good. Yeah, I know it was so good. We spoke about it. Me and Ryan went in depth about they have 21 sacks on the year. They're leading the league. They're on pace, Denver. You know that, right? They're on pace to break the all-time single-season sack record by the 1984 Bears at this point. They're projected to have 73 sacks, the record 72. We know. Don't you want to dial up some screens to help your quarterback out? Don't you want to do some misdirections? Don't you want to tell Justin Fields, hey, buddy, don't hold on to the ball for 20 seconds in the pocket? The guy wants to sit down and have a cup of coffee back there. These offensive linemen are going to get pissed off at a point, and they already are. Tittman said it without saying it. He goes, yeah, if he needs 5 seconds back there, we'll give him 6. The fact that he even said that, and I'm not trying to look too much into it, but it's true. The fact that he even said that, they know how long this guy needs back there.
Dude, how much time does he need to
It's
see
ridiculous.
Garrett Wilson running wide open on 3rd and 8 with the game on the line here?
Dude, that ball should have been out already. That ball should be out right now.
This is not a rookie quarterback either, people. Like, Justin Fields has been in the league. He's been in the league for 5 years already. What are we talking about?
You win the game if this idiot, sorry to call him an idiot, he's an idiot, because only an idiot would wait this long to throw a ball. You know what you're up against. Throw the ball. Throw the ball.
I mean, you mentioned Mason Taylor, right? Here's a 3rd and 5 earlier in the game. Throw the ball, 1st down. The ball should be out already. He's looking right at him. He's looking at him.
I don't know what it doesn't seem like it. He looks like a UDFA quarterback. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm really going to start questioning the football IQ of some of these players, because especially him. What do you want to happen? I don't know what he's waiting for. And I'm going to blame Tanner Engstrand too, who called plays like an idiot yesterday. Tanner Engstrand is another idiot. This team is all idiots.
That's not football! That's not a man! That's a bitch!
That's the problem. We're a bunch of bitches on the
Jake,
Jets.
how stupid is this team, though? Like every one is just dumb. Penalties are dumb. Then we got rid of those. Now we have the worst offense we've seen again. We have the best defensive game we saw all year. Then we have the worst offense.
This is what bad teams do, though, right? What you're describing is what we have seen as Jet fans this entire playoff drought. It's like, oh, you finally get the great game for the defense. Here's the historic ineptitude from your offense. Oh, you finally clean up the penalty problem. Well, it's not going to matter because guess what? The offense is going to be so bad. Like the special teams and defense held up their end of the bargain. They were phenomenal yesterday. Everything was there for the upset, but the two most important people on the football team colossally failed. That's the head coach and the quarterback. And the quarterback should never have been in a position to fail the way he did if the head coach had a clue how to coach. You know, Mr. Aaron Glenn puffing his chest about coaching over the summer, cleaning up the penalties, discipline. If you make mistakes, you're not going to be out there. We're going to hold guys accountable. Remember how smug he was with Connor Hughes when asked about Will McDonald's bull rush move? Where's this version of Aaron Glenn?
A lot of that. The speed last year we saw a lot of with Will.
Yep.
The spins, the coming around the edge. The power that he put on, I don't know if you need the replay if you haven't seen it yet, but he went over him at one point. Is that even a new element to his game when you said he added some weight?
Coaching.
Is that now what he can do?
Coaching. It's coaching.
How so? Like, what do you mean?
Because he can do it. You just said he's never done it last year, right?
Not much.
Now you see him do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
Just coaching. And just coaching.
Now
and
you're going to see him do it. Yeah, we're seeing him do it. All right.
It's just like, and you like everything he sold us, you wanted to believe because he's a former Jet. He wanted this job, but I'm not going to sit here and blindly just put all my faith in Glenn figuring it out because he was a great Jet 30 years ago. I'm sorry. I want Aaron Glenn to be the guy and be successful. But if they're sitting there at the top of the draft, which right now they would be if the season ended today, we're not doing what the Titans did, giving Brian Callahan the opportunity to draft his quarterback, and then you had no faith in the guy anyway, so you're firing him in his second year already. Like you can't do it. Glenn does not get a second year if they're 2-15 with the first pick in the draft or 3-14 with the first pick in the draft. There needs to be real improvement so we can actually have some sort of confidence that we're not just going to same old Jets this offseason with the quarterback, and this cycle of being bad will never end if that's the case.
Yeah, my question for you is, and I don't know the answer, I'm curious what your take on this is, how much is Woody going to be able to part ways in his mind with all the money he spent on the 33rd team and whatever that, you know, buyout's going to be for Aaron Glenn? I mean, it could happen. We saw it with Penn State and James Franklin, a $49 million buyout, which actually Adidas apparently helped them pay out. I don't know if you saw that. That's kind of interesting. But you know that, right? Like Adidas is a big sponsor of Penn State, like help them kind of pay
I heard
over.
about that, yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I hope Cash App help this contractual buyout? But Jake, seriously, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. Does Woody, I don't even know if it's necessary about money, Frankie. Woody oversaw these hires, right? He never felt like he was responsible for Douglas or Salah because they weren't under his watch, right? His brother hired Douglas. Douglas hired Salah. Woody took a back seat for the first couple of years when he got back from London. I think it's maybe not the money. It's the ego. Does Woody want to admit he made a colossal mistake and fire Glenn after a year? That to me maybe is the bigger deal than the money because this guy's a billionaire. He has the money. And if he ever wanted more cash, he could do what the Maras and Tisches are doing with the Giants, selling a small percentage of the franchise just to get a truckload of cash. Like, I don't think it's about money. I think it's ego. And I just wonder, how badly does Woody want to win? Does he want to fix his team or not? Robert Kraft had to swallow his pride and admit he made a mistake and fired Gerard Mayo after a year. Is Woody Johnson willing to do the same for his franchise? That I don't know. If I own the Jets, without question, if this continues, it's without a doubt. I don't care what my ego is. I'm admitting I made a mistake and moving on because I want what's in the best interest of my football team to win for the first time in 15 years. Like that to me is a no-brainer. But I don't know what Woody's thinking deep down.
Jake, another thing to consider, what if this team ends up winning 4 games, let's say they win next week, they beat Carolina, they win a few games later, but there's games that look like this towards the end of the season, and you come in and you're at 4 wins, let's say, right? That's another thing we have to consider. That's a really tough spot. You're 4-13, but you have more games that look like this, but you also have a few wins in there. You have 4 wins, which is probably more than most. Like, are you still? I'm still.
Are we getting a clock debacle like what we just saw?
I mean, listen, that is what I think is going to end up happening, which is going to put us all in a big pickle here.
But another game like that, I don't know if he could survive. Remember, Nate Hackett had that awful game on Monday Night Football in his debut game as the Broncos coach, and that game stuck with him the rest of the way. He didn't even make it through the season. I think this game yesterday from Glenn was so bad. So many people took notice to it. Any Glenn defender couldn't even defend him. Victor Green, his best friend, was criticizing him on Twitter, couldn't even defend him. When we get to that point, If you're telling me another game like that happens, I don't think you could survive it, even if they luck into a couple wins late in the year and do finish 4-13. I think yesterday was that damaging. If you're telling me something like that happens again, I don't know, man. I think Woody would have to swallow his pride and have to make a move at that point.
Yeah. I mean, man, it seems like this season never even got started. But seriously, this season never started.
No,
it never did. I'm like, when does football season start? Anybody know? Anybody? Right? It's like never started, man. It's pathetic. The season was over 2 weeks ago. It's like,
you know what's sad? I wish the Jets televised practice, because Wednesday through Friday, there's not a team in the league that's better. Don't you want to see their practices, man? Like, I want to experience some joy. They have the best practices ever.
Can they do
practices better?
No team does. Yeah, they should have like a win-loss record for practices, man. We'd be like, be like the freaking Dolphins. But I don't know, man. This season's just an utter. It's as bad as it possibly could have gone. Like, if you would have mapped out the worst case scenario for this season,
we're right here now. Yeah,
we are, and the record speaks for it. You're 0-6. That's objective point one. You're 0-6. Then you go down the list. Your coach looks inept. Your quarterback that they brought in looks terrible. The defense has looked terrible besides for a game. You had winnable games that you lost. So it's not like – it's almost better sometimes. I was thinking about this. You know what will really lose a locker room? Not if you're getting blown out and your players suck or lose the confidence of the fans. Like, not if you're getting blown out, because you're going to look at talent and deficiencies, and you'll make excuses for why you're just not able to win games because you stink and you're getting blown out. Man, when you're losing games you're supposed to win, and your coach is putting you in a bad position when you have talent, that'll lose people really quick, because you're right there. Like, you have the ability to turn it on and win games, and they haven't been able to. That's even worse than losing sometimes by 20 points. I mean, you're letting your players down, and that's what Aaron Glenn's doing. And listen, I'll say this too, Jake. He can have everyone buy in before the games start, because when your head coach comes in, he has a lot of power, especially a guy like Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn, remember, he's the CEO of that team. So he's everyone's boss when he got hired. They go, hey, this is your new boss. You're going to be very nice to your new boss. You're going to buy into everything. He's going to have a say in how much money you potentially make. You want to be all cuddly with your new boss now, and the media too, by the way. The media, with this new coach coming in, they're not going to want to tick him off because they want stories. They're going to want access to certain things. They're going to ask him questions. They want good answers. Now, with Aaron Glenn at the point where people aren't looking into his longevity as the CEO, that he's not lasting more than 2 years. Now you're going to see people turning around, people not caring, people asking tough questions. You saw it today. They were hammering him with hard ones today.
And he sounded even worse. He had 24 hours to come up with better explanations for why he sucked at his job yesterday, and he failed.
Yeah. He won it today. Like, that was it. He didn't even care. He didn't. He went to the same, his bravado, his confidence, his pride. We're 0-6, but I'm not gonna waver at all. It's gonna be fine. Look at Dan Campbell. I mean, maybe that's all he can say. But I'm not buying it. I never, to be honest, I'll be honest, I never liked his personality as a coach. I thought he was too much. And I didn't like Justin Fields' personality as a quarterback, because I didn't think he's enough. I mean, Justin yesterday, some of the stuff he was saying was crazy. If he didn't speak in such a monotone voice, like he's the saddest person in the world, which I'm saying that just as a joke, though, because he does look, he looks depressed out there. He looks like he hates playing football. There's no excitement, no smiling, no rah-rah. I mean, like, I hope the guy is fine. Something's up with that guy. I'm just saying. He's throwing the receiver. He's saying the receivers weren't open. That was a reason why you're holding on to the ball. What was that stat? I posted it. I think you spoke about it. You were mentioning it. Zach Rosenblatt, 8 of the 9 sacks.
Yeah.
8 of his 9 sacks right there. 8 of those sacks are above the league average for time in the pocket, and not by 0.1 or 0.2 seconds. Most of them are second plus.
It's inexcusable. And Samini, who's not a hot take guy at all, for him to highlight this just tells you he's seen enough because he's covered every bad Jet head coach the last 40 years. Justin Fields yesterday, 16 of 29 dropbacks he was pressured on. And then on the 16 pressure plays, Frankie, he only threw 4 times. He only attempted 4 passes, completed one of them for -1 yards. He's just not pulling the trigger. It's like, and I think they coached into him. Hey, don't turn it over, man. Take care of the ball. It's like how they ruined, like the mentality, like of all these young quarterbacks, right? Like, oh, like these defensive coaches who don't have a clue on how to coach offense. They claim to be coaches of the whole team, but they're not. They like coach these young quarterbacks. Take care of the ball, man. Don't take any chances. Don't make a mistake. Turnovers will kill you. You have to let Justin Fields not be afraid to throw downfield. But I think he's been coached to not pull the trigger. Oh, you're going up against the big, bad, vaunted Denver defense. You can't take any chances, Justin. Take care of the ball. And it's like, dude, you psyched him out. And you have to now realize you psyched him out and pull the plug, go to a pro in Tyrod, who's not going to be overwhelmed by the moment, come in, give you a scoring drive, and you win the game. You could have benched him for the fourth quarter, the last drive. Tyrod, I'm convinced, would have been able to get them 20 yards
100%,
and got them a field goal.
I said the last 2 drives he should have been in for. You're going to score. You're going to get 3 points out of that, and you win the game then. 100%. And then you could sell why you're going back to Justin. Hey, it wasn't Justin's day. They had his number. We're going to evaluate, but for all intents and purposes, Justin will be the starter next week. That's it. You could say he had an injury. You could say that too. I hate going there, but you could do that. You think people like coaches, the great ones like Bill Belichick, don't make things up sometimes? Hey, he was struggling with his shoulder. We wanted to take him out his hip. We were monitoring some of his head issues that he had from the concussion. He didn't seem like he was all there, which he didn't look all there, by the way. Like that, I wouldn't be surprised if something was lingering from that concussion he had a few weeks ago. Take him out, have an excuse, and put him back in. You win a football game. Aaron Glenn's job is to win football games for the Jets under any means necessary. That's his job.
Now that, my friend, is.
Thank you, Beast. I mean, look, if I don't give myself some comedic relief, Frankie, I'm not gonna make it. I can't do 11 more games of this. It's just, it's unbelievable.
I mean, listen, if there's a silver lining on the wall here, it's instead of being teased a bit and then the inevitable happens, like with Adam Gase, that it took his second year for us to realize that this thing was literally off the rails and we got to get out of this. You're kind of seeing it earlier than later, so. I mean, at this point, you're going to have a very high bar for how Aaron Glenn's going to perform to be convinced that you want him back next year. So at least you kind of see it already. It's like you hired someone in your company and they're just doing nothing. They're not working. They're not clocking in. They're not. I'm not saying he's doing that, but
Aaron Glenn's the politician that ran on all these promises, got elected, and can't deliver on any of them. He literally ran the entire campaign on doing this right and fixing this, and we're going to do this and that. And he's not who he said he was. He's not.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if he wants my respect as a fan or whatever, analyst, whatever you want to call me,
win football games.
Yeah. Besides that, make moves like Justin Fields should be benched next week. 100%. I don't care what anybody said. That game is the lowest net passer rate, passing yards in Jets history. Believe it or not,
it's one of the worst of all time.
Oh yeah, it's in 27 years. It's the worst in 27 years in the NFL. Justin Fields, who's got Garrett Wilson, you just paid a boatload of money to. Breece Hall, who wasn't targeted. Mason Taylor, you drafted in the second round. This young gun OC, Tanner Engstrand, who did not do a good job yesterday. Regardless, that's on you, man. That's more on you if it's that inept. In a game you should have won. You bench Justin Fields. Connor Hughes mentioned it today. He said in a very nice way that there's players in that locker room that like Tyrod in the offseason. And he's hearing that there's guys talking in there about why Tyrod's better than Justin Fields right now. Justin doesn't even look like he wants to play football. There is nothing in. I think Justin Fields is one of the worst quarterbacks you can have for two reasons. Reason number one, he cannot process a football game as a pocket passer. And number two, I don't think he loves playing football. I don't. And I will stand by that until I'm proven wrong. Everything he says, the way his mannerisms, he does not give a crap. Throwing guys under the bus. If he wasn't such a nice guy, which he is, but we're not in the business, or the team shouldn't be in the business of winning because you don't win because someone's nice in football. He doesn't do it for me. They should bench him for Tyrod, and I would even play Brady Cook over him at this point. $30 million. Congratulations. You made $30 million, probably $15 million more than you deserve, but it is what it is. Hey, he does nothing for me, man. He really doesn't. And I feel bad for him to a degree because
I hope he turns it around, man.
Yeah,
There's still
same.
11 games left. Like, it's, like we're talking the way we're talking, Frankie, because we have no choice. That's how bad it's been. And yesterday was by far the worst coaching performance we've seen in some time. And it was on a national stage. Everybody saw it. Everyone's thinking the same thing. I'm getting texts from people that aren't Jet fans that are watching their first Jet game all year. I'm tired of being an embarrassment. I really am. I'm tired of rooting for this team and being like, oh, well, we got to be fans and support the team and be positive no matter what. Like, no, man, I'm always going to root for them. I want Aaron Glenn to prove me wrong and turn it around. But until he does, I'm sorry. I think he's in over his head and has not earned the opportunity, if this is as bad as it looks like it's going to be this year, to be back for a second year. And if people can't accept that, sorry, like this moron on Twitter who just tweeted me, I'm almost on the edge of blocking at Jake Asman for refusing to see the bright side in a coach he never wanted.
Let
me explain something to you.
I would say that's a troll job.
If you are looking for bright sides when the team is a national disgrace and they're 0-6, you're a fool. All right. You want only homers to give you information, right? You want everything to be great. You want me to start my postgame show yesterday and really highlight how epic those 2 Nick Folk field goals were for the Jets yesterday. You want me to highlight those beautiful kicks by Nick Folk for the entire show. If you want only the bright side, enough. Win football games. This team has not had a winning season in a decade. They have not made the playoffs in 15 years. They have not won a division title in over 20. They have not won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl III in 1969. Enough. And I'm not holding Aaron Glenn for responsible for any of the stuff that predated him, but I'm not going to sit here and blindly support this coach who's 0-6 just because, there's some bright spots. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real. This is as bad as it has ever been rooting for this team right now. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah. And I should have probably dug into this a bit more. I just haven't had much time to. I'm going to dig into that Dan Campbell 112-1 season, because if I'm not mistaken, during that season, they played teams really tough. And they played some really good teams really tough. And there weren't that many stupid mistakes that happened. He went for it on 4th down a couple times. I remember they had lost, but there wasn't a sentiment after Dan Campbell's first year that there was no way this guy was going to turn this thing around and he was so inept. Like, I don't remember that. And considering the talent they had on defense with that team, they had some excuses and something to look forward to a degree. Glenn doesn't have that.
You want some stats? This is from Nate, who emailed me this. So this is a database here. NFL head coaches to start 0-6 with a new team since 1980. And you can see the year they started at least 0-6, and whether or not they eventually led that team to the playoffs, that's highlighted in green. So, yeah, we could point to Dan Campbell. We could point to Zach Taylor, Kyle Shanahan, go all the way back to Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. But the vast majority of these coaches, they fail.
By the way, 3 of those, all 4 of those guys up top. I know Dan Campbell's was a tight end, so I don't want to call him an offensive coach, but Zach Taylor, an offensive coach, Kyle Shanahan, an offensive coach, Jimmy Johnson, an offensive coach. So, I mean, there's not your defensive coaches up there, the getting top quarterbacks. Yikes.
Apparently, this is from Michael Nania. So, Nate, I gave you too much credit for thinking you knew how to do research, but Michael Nania is the one who put that together. Great graphic, jetxfactor.com.
By the way, Aaron Glenn needs what Aaron Glenn should say too at some point is I'm evaluating everything in that locker room, because he's trying to convince us that they're just slowly going to build this foundation with basically what they have and who they brought in. Man, you got to evaluate everything at this point. And there's really nothing you're looking at from a foundation standpoint with the way that they're coaching these guys. I mean, we thought the coaching was bad last year. The coaching is probably worse this year. Your coaching staff is terrible. They're literally it's worse this year. You hired the offensive line coach who was a tight ends coach. Actually, the offensive line's playing fine, so I'm not ripping them. But you hired a bunch of people. We got former players as positional coaches out there.
Glenn's on the Olbrich level. He might be a little better. He might be a little like he's in the conversation.
I mean, if he's on the Olbrich, Jake, if you really think, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, because I'm not necessarily wrong. If you think he's on Olbrich's level or even close, you should want him fired tomorrow.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Just letting you know.
Through 6 games. He's on that level.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
Olbrich only had what? Olbrich had what? 7, 8 games here.
Olbrich he had. Let's see. Salah got fired after 5 games, so he got 12 games, right? Or he got 11 games.
Weren't they?
Salah got fired at 2 and 3.
You're right. I was thinking 2 and 5. Yeah. Okay, got it. We
So
did the Devontae Adams trade. Yeah,
he had 12 games, and he won 3 of them, so he was 3 and 9.
Yeah,
I mean. Like, that's how bad it has been for Glenn. The best thing for Aaron Glenn, again, is that there's 11 games left, and he can show improvement. You know, he admitted he made a mistake at the end of halftime, not at least just calling the Hail Mary at the end there. But I think there was even bigger mistakes before just letting the clock run out and not at least trying a Hail Mary. Why fake the punt on 4th and 1 if you're not going to allow your quarterback to be aggressive and try and throw some passes downfield to potentially get deeper into field goal range?
And
play to Garrett Wilson. You brought it up. Throw it up.
Throw it up, and if it gets picked off, it's like a punt anyway. It's a punt. Throw it up to Garrett Wilson on the sideline. Let Patrick Surtain pick it off. Good for you. You guys are on you're on your 15. Good luck. Like good luck in 40 seconds driving down the field. Your defense is playing great anyway. What are you so afraid? He's so afraid that Denver was going to score. What are you afraid of? Your defense was clicking on all cylinders yesterday. Your defense was the only reason you were in the game yesterday in special teams, but mostly because of the defense. Come on, man. Have some balls. That's what you came here for. You should have been throwing. And you know what? If they threw the ball down the field and it got picked off and Surtain got a pick 6 out of it, hey, chapeau, like my uncle says. Good job. Pat on the back. You made a great play by a great player. But try. We don't care. We're losing games anyway. You know what I want to see out of Justin Fields? You know what I want to see now moving forward?
Completed pass?
Yeah, over 10 yards. He didn't complete one over 10 yards yesterday. One went over 10 yards because I think Reynolds got 3 yards a yak. He didn't throw a ball that was completed over 10 yards yesterday if you look at his drive chart. That's ridiculous. I want to see Justin Fields throwing the ball down the field. I want to see him throwing 25-yard post corners. I want to see him throwing 15-yard out. If he throws 6 interceptions and the experiment, this guy cannot be an NFL quarterback. Thank you very much. You got your $30 million. We'll see you maybe next year as a backup. You have to, play to be a backup here because we're not going to go in this direction. That's what you got to do. Stop hiding the guy. We're 0-6. There's nothing to hide. You're not hiding to win to make the playoffs. Those days are over. Put him out there, see what he's going to give you. If not, play Tyrod if you want to be competitive and not piss off everyone on that offense.
Tyrod should start this week. The fact that Glenn's
100%.
going with Fields, the leash needs to be razor thin for this game. Jets, by the way, FanDuel Sportsbook, as of this morning, they were 1.5-point favorites. However, I have not checked the latest line since the news of Garrett Wilson likely being out. And guess what? The line has officially moved. The New York Jets are now a slight underdog in the game. The line flipped. The New York Jets are a 1.5 underdog at home against the Panthers. This is all from FanDuel.
They're plus 1.5 because that's showing minus.
Here it is, plus 1.5. I just updated the lines for you.
Nice.
Jets now an underdog with the news of Garrett Wilson likely not playing.
Because I don't want to lose the game and say we were favored before we played the game.
But get ready. If they lose, people will be like, they were an underdog, Jake. You can't expect to win. Right. Well, I got news for you, folks. They're probably going to be an underdog in all their remaining games at this point. So if they can't win this one, right, like there's not many games left where they have a chance to even be a favorite. They'll be a slight underdog against Cincinnati in all likelihood the week after. They might be a slight favorite at home against the Cleveland Browns. Other than that, are they a favorite in any of their other games? I don't think so.
I'm going to tell you right now, that Carolina game is going to be freaking interesting because they have looked really good the last couple of weeks. Have you seen what Rico Dowdle's been doing, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Rico Dowdle had 183 rushing yards this past week, 236 total yards. The week before that, he had 206 rushing yards.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be. Dallas is probably thinking, so what the hell did we do? Get rid of that guy.
Where'd this happen?
Yeah.
Where'd this
I mean,
from?
Javonte Williams, to their credit, is playing really well. He's second in the league in rushing. Dowdle's third, although Dowdle's only started 2 games, which is crazy to think about. Be third in the league in rushing, starting 2 of 6 games. But yeah, man, this week, I mean, Jake, I think we're screwed, man. I think Dave Canales, the way they're running that offense, they got receivers all over the place. Ted's playing really good. They got Leggett. They have some other guys out there. I don't know. It's going to be I'm surprised that we even opened up as favorites. I don't know what Vegas is thinking there, but we'll see, man.
I'm just glad that the New York Jets are going to be home this week. The atmosphere at MetLife's going to be electric because the Asmaniacs are going to be there, Frankie. Come join me and all the Asmaniacs.
There we go.
Lot E26, Tailgate Joe, if you want our Asmaniac discount. Nick Shine is our tailgate liaison. You can Venmo him, PayPal, or Cash App Nick, and get the best rate for the all-you-can-eat plus raffle entry we'll do for the Jets-Panthers game on Sunday.
You should make it 75 for Vicodin included.
Oh, my
55.
God.
Football! That's not a man! That's a bitch!
That's how angry we're all going to be at this game together. It's going to be magical.
Oh, you're not going to be angry. I think your anger will subside by the end of the week, Jake. I think I think you're going to hit the apathy stage pretty soon, aren't you?
I'm still so angry because of just how big of a phony the coach has been with everything he's promised so far. I don't know. I'm not at the apathy yet. We're going to get there at some point. I'm not there yet because we're Frankie, we're in year 1 of this coach, man. There was apathy when you knew okay, end of last year, I didn't even feel anything after these games. You knew, new regime coming in, everything's going to look different. These games mean nothing, whatever. Whatever. Jets made a good play. I didn't emote. They sucked. Whatever. I didn't care. I'm not there yet because there's still so much on the line for this team. If this is as bad as it looks, Woody Johnson has to have balls and not retain the staff. You can't run this back with the first pick in the draft. There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're ranking, let's rate Aaron Glenn's performance 6 weeks in. Where are you going? To me, it's a D. I'm not going to go with an F yet. Why? The only reason I'm going to D is because week 1 we could have won, and we were beating. No, I'm saying the Bucs game we were winning at the end, and then yesterday,
A D. Come on.
All right. All right. What do you want me to? D- isn't a real grade. You want me to go D-? Have you ever gone at D-?
It's an F. They don't have a win.
No,
they're the worst team in the NFL.
All right. I'm trying to be a little nice here. Trying to cut a little slack. We got to cut the guy just a little bit of slack.
Why? He came in and said, "Oh, coaching, watch this," and we're the New York Jets. We're this and that. Oh,
We're the freaking New York Jets. So we're shit.
It's an F. Win games, man. The bar is here's the other thing too. The bar had never been lower this year than what it was, and we can't even clear that.
No, Jake. Listen, I'm with you, man. I said it yesterday night. In a space we were running with uStadium, and Nick. I go, I want him fired tomorrow. And no, excuse me, I didn't say that. I said if he gets fired tomorrow, excuse me. I do want him fired tomorrow, but it's unrealistic. If he were to get fired tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I'd actually be kind of happy. Start the search, put Tanner Rangstrom as interim, and find a coach.
See, that I disagree with, right? Because I push back.
Well, I'm saying if that were to happen, I really wouldn't care.
Right.
I'm not because I'm not looking at Aaron Glenn as being a long-term answer as the head coach here. So get through with it.
My take on this is the following, right? I think no matter what happens, even if they have the exact same game on Sunday against the Panthers with Glenn botching the clock, I think you need to give him the year. Because I
agree.
Because from an optics standpoint, right? If you want to attract a legitimate coach, right? You could get a coach. There's guys out there that would take the job. It's 1 of 32. It pays a fortune, all that guaranteed money. I get it. But if you want to get the best of the best coaches to actually consider your job, if you want and done a franchise legend, let's say 6 games in or 7 if they lose, or do it at the bye week if they're 0-8, I think optics-wise, that'd be terrible for the Jets because then you get Sean.
No, I do agree.
You know what I mean? You get Sean Payton coming out being like, they fired my boy. Oh,
Yeah.
You get Saleh being like, that's what they do over there. They fire coaches in season. You get Dan Campbell coming out and ripping the Jet organization. You don't want that bad PR. Everyone knows how bad Aaron Glenn has been so far. They watched the game yesterday. Like every team in the league is reviewing how bad the Jets bungled the end of the first half yesterday as what not to do in their Wednesday meetings this week. Like that's happening. So you can't fire Glenn. You need to give him the full year. Woody can't meddle, right? Like we talked about, would they fire Wilkes if the defense sucked yesterday? No. Stay out. Glenn gets the year. You evaluate at the end because you need to make it clear that you're not just going to pull the plug and be what would be deemed irrational to other people who don't know the situation this quickly into the season to a franchise legend. So you got to wait to the end of the year, then make a decision. And hopefully the decision is you want to bring him back because he did a better job these last 11 games. You feel like they're actually headed in the right direction.
Yeah, no, Jake, you're 99% right. The only caveat there is if Glenn loses that locker room and you got guys in Woody Johnson's office and it's becoming really a train wreck, I'm saying there becomes a time when the team doesn't really have a choice. I don't think we're going to get there, by the way, but I'm just saying you're starting to see the players only meeting and you're starting to see Garrett with him on the sideline. I mean, this is starting to, kind of snowball, and I don't want it to. I really don't. I don't. I wanted Aaron Glenn. I know I came on saying I want Josh McCown, offensive-minded guys. You were all about the veteran, experienced head coach. I think we both had arguments, that I think were better than what they settled with kind of doing the same thing with kind of like a Saleh style coach. Whatever. You root for him, but I'm not cutting him any slack at the end of the year. I'm not personally, I'm not cutting him any slack right now. He needs to drastically improve this team. Drastically. He can't be the reason. I mean, Jake, he's in the middle of the field yesterday. Did you see him? He ran in the middle of the field. It looked like a Pop Warner coach running, like asking the ref whether it was a first down or not. He's really not experienced and knows what the hell is going on. Pressers, he's given wrong yardage and distance. Sean McVay remembers what happened 3 years ago on Monday Night Football on 3rd and 5 from the 22-yard line and what play call they had. This guy can't remember that to win the game, it was a 62-yarder. It was not a 68 or 65-yarder. He didn't even know that. He goes, it was a 45-yarder because it was from the 45. 45 plus 17. You add the 10 in the end zone and 7 because you go back 7, you hold. Then you add the 10, it's 17. 45 plus 17, 62. He goes, oh, it was 68. No, it was 65. What?
I had no clue how to explain it.
And I'm not trying to rip the guy for being dumb, but you sound really dumb, bro. I mean, it's Adam Gase ish, even worse. Like Adam Gase would sometimes say stuff like that too. This is not trending in the right direction, honestly. Making excuses. Now he's backpedaling. He's like, oh, what are you talking about?
Big
Brian?
ships take a while to turn, though. After he said, we're here to win now. Hey, Aaron Glenn, is this a rebuild?
We're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it. So any questions?
Actually, Quentin Williams was right because you're so bad that it's turning into a rebuild now. When this team could have actually had a competent season where they were competitive. They were in the hunt. Just terrible.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, I don't know what the solution is. I really don't know if it's all going to just change with a head coach, a new one, a quarterback. I think it's got to come from the owner. I think the owner's got to realize that a lot of the moves that he's made are just not working. They're not reciprocating. I think he's just hiring the wrong people. He's got the wrong idea. I'm always against hiring consulting firms to do your work. You need to put your culture. You need to put your imprint. You need to have culture. You need to have DNA in a business. It can't just be you're just hiring. We hired Corn Ferry that found us John Idzik. You remember that, right?
Oh, do I ever?
Yeah, hiring consulting firms to do your dirty work. That's what you need to do. And if you're not willing or able to do it, you got to get someone in there that is. You can sell stake. You could sell a portion of the team. I'm really calling for this. Woody Johnson, sell 5 to 10% of the team to a football family that'll come in and they'll run the football ops for you. You're not fit right now to do it. I don't know if your head's in other places. I don't know what's going on. This is just not working. Get some football people in there. Change the vibe a little bit. It's just becoming stale. You had some success with Rex. You kind of walked into some good head coaches when you got here, and you did a good job in the beginning. But it's off the rails now. No one's understanding anything. There's no culture with the New York Jets. They try to build it with these new cool locker rooms, and they're making these mock Atlantic studios in London, like One Jets Drive and stuff. Like just let it go. It's not working. The stadium's a pile of junk, by the way. Garbage stadium. I mean, MetLife Stadium. If you spend $1.6 billion for that, that's your touch on things. This guy has got no touch on football stuff. He doesn't get it. It's like me trying to replicate a Picasso painting. You want me to paint? Forget it. You're gonna. I can't even draw a stick figure. It is what it is. He just doesn't get it. Just because you have money doesn't make you a good owner. You're willing to spend money. You need touch on the product. There's no touch. There's no culture. There's nothing with the New York Jets, and it comes from the owner. That's it. I'm telling you, Jake, that's where it all stems from. You might fall into one guy or one quarterback. That's right. We haven't been able to now for 15 years.
Unbelievable. Frankie, well said. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you guys.
Passion. Great job on the pod. Everyone should go listen to Gangs All Here. Frankie, Brian Costello, and our guy Ryan Sampson. They do the pod every week. Ryan and Frankie do a post game after every Jet game that I'm always listening to when I get done with mine. So good to get you on, Frankie. Really appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Shout outs to the Asmaniacs. I'll catch you when we're 1-6, Jake. Maybe I'll come the week after. Maybe we'll be 2-6. Make a little run here. Maybe we win 5 in a row.
Come to the watch party, baby. If the Jets don't win this Sunday, they're gonna win with you in the building against the.
You know what?
The Bengals.
If we beat Carolina, I'll be there.
That's like you and Benigo. You both said the same thing. If we beat Carolina, I'll come to the watch party.
I'll be there. Yeah.
Looks like no one's coming to the watch party then.
No, we'll talk about it. You know what? I'll stop by. I'm going to be there at least for the first half. I'm there.
Frankie, you're the man. All the love.
No, one love. Thanks.
1-16 and change the regime.
Is there anyone happier than Alan, by the way, with how bad the Jets are right now? This is his dream. We joke about Frankie being Tanky V, but Frankie's a real Jet fan. Alan's not. Right? Alan is tenting all day long with how bad the Jets are. He really is. He really is. All right. So apparently Don LaGreca was criticizing me on ESPN New York. So I just got a text from the producer of the show, Anthony Pusick, and they asked, do you want to come on with us? So I'm going to go on the afternoon show on ESPN New York in about 5 minutes. To do that, though, I'm going to have to connect my Comrex, which is off to the side, so I can actually do the radio from home. So I'm going to do my hit, and then I'll stay on for the remaining calls here because I definitely want to take advantage of the opportunity. So I'm ready. Apparently, Don ripped me apart. Great. I'm ready to go right back at him then. So if you want fireworks, you can hear me on ESPN New York in about 5 minutes. But because of this, here's what's going to happen. I am going to throw to break. And when we come back from this break, I'll do the remaining show and I will get to the remaining super chat. But duty calls, I got to apparently figure out why I'm being ripped by Mr. LaGreca. So here's how we will do this. I'm going to play a commercial spot. And once again, about 10, 15 minutes or so, we'll be back for the remainder of the show. The other option was to let Beast Breaker host it. Beast, I don't think I trust you, but thank you. Actually, I have a better idea. Gator just made me an incredible suggestion. He said I should play the Asmaniac top 10 for the month. That's a great idea. Now I just got to find that, Gator. Hold on, because I didn't have it saved. Re-forward it to me, Gator. And I will. Here it is. Okay, great idea. This is actually because people haven't seen this. This is very smart. Hold on. Stay with me. This is what we call live producing on the fly here. Beast, talk to the audience for a moment here. I got to download something.
You got it. This team is so goddamn mismanaged. Very, very abysmal lately. You know, it's like having your insides ripped out of your chest. It's like having Pepto-Bismol with NyQuil. very bad combination. It's like watching me hurl into the toilet when I'm doing week after week after week after week. I am getting to the point where I have gone this mad. I've already lost my temper. I already have a really severe heartbeat, and I'm not dead yet. I'm even alive. I'm still walking at least. But I'll tell you something. This team better get their act together. I already got new ideas and new plans. Yeah, I do. I got some new plans in my pocket. We could take $10 billion out. I got 3 guys that could do a job that have some balls, and I'm talking balls with some massive amounts of steel, and I'm talking the heavy steel, not that cheapy, shitty steel that you get from China. We're talking real American-made steel, made in the USA. We are going to look like hungry survivors. And sure, this shit, we look like we shit the bed, but we're going to turn that son of a bitch right around. We're not, I don't want to hear, big ships take time. No. We're not going to hear that anymore. You can forget that goddamn Portugal nonsense. We're not going to hear that shit. You want to be here? Here's the fucking deal. This is what you do. You spend the money wisely. You go out and get new talent. You want fresh? Go to all these colleges. Spend the money. Get the talent. Bring them here. If they want to work here, fine. But they have to fucking produce. New York City is a city.
All right, Beast, thank you very much. Here's what I'm going to do. I need to get set for this radio hit here. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So until then, because I can't get the countdown to play, enjoy a blast from the past. I'll be right back.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Lane, what's up, Lane Kerner?
Hey, and I'm Jake, my brother. Do you have any other ideas about what you do now because the season's over?
I hope they draft really good players that help the Jets win.
I'm hearing that they might get, was it Kenobyl? Yeah. I see him going.
Wait.
I don't know.
Lane, who's Kenobyl?
The guy that the guy that was in college?
Well, a lot of these draft prospects were in college, so I'm trying to figure out who you're referring to. What position does Kenobyl play?
Was he because I think he plays in one of the college and stuff.
I don't know who Kenobyl is.
Yeah, Kenobyl. I forgot his last name. I would have to look it up.
All right.
And okay, thank you for taking my call.
Who's Kenobyl?
BJF, I'm gonna need you to figure out who this Kenobyl guy is. You're more of a draft guy than I am.
Kenobyl at 10. He's bust proof. Lane should get to announce the draft pick. No matter who they pick, you should say we took Kenobyl.
That was a top 3 Lane call ever. You're welcome, Gator. I can't wait to see what you do with that one. We had everything in there. He gave us a Bruce Hall. He gave us this Kenobyl character. I don't know who he's talking about, but maybe we'll figure it out.
Whoa, holy crap, I can't believe it. Lane Kerner's in the house. Choo-choo. We are all aboard the Lane train. Hello, Lane. You guys know when the Lane train calls in, this show could go anywhere, so buckle up. What's up, Lane Kerner?
Zach Wilson is not going to come back. Why don't you think he's going to sign still with the Jets? Is it because he's not good?
He stinks.
Oh, stinks? Yeah, same feeling.
The guy is terrible.
I said announce the draft picks.
Lane, I want you to announce a Jets pick. That would make my
yeah.
life.
I mean, who am I going to pick though for the draft? On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to Kenobyl out of college. Then they tell you who the players are from, and their families get excited. You sign him, he should be good going into week 1. Yeah, I know a lot of the football.
That was amazing. I love you, Lane. You're the best. What a draft pick. Lane, you are a national treasure. I think in classic Charles Gorman fashion, I saw a comment from Charles that said, "Who is Kenobyl?" As we played a full video explaining exactly who Kenobyl is. So, Charles, I go to you next. Do you still not know who Kenobyl is?
I think Lane Train's an idiot. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
What do you mean he's an idiot?
He's making stuff up. Who's Kenobyl? I looked him up on the internet and he's not there.
He is. He went to college.
Guys, stop it. Seriously, I know the bullshit coming out of your mouth. It's bullshit.
Charles, I don't like your tone.
Here,
Charles.
how do you spell Kenobyl?
Charles, I don't need to dignify your nonsense. See you later. Get out of here. How do you spell Kenobyl? Doesn't matter how to spell Kenobyl. All that matters is he's one of the great prospects we've ever seen. More of your calls right now. Let's go to Jake Klein. What's up, Jake?
Well, actually, first off, for 1 second, who's Kenobyl?
No, he's a phenomenal prospect for the New York Jets.
I tried Googling. It said like amusement park things. I was like, I don't
know. No, he played at college.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll Google it another time. But
see you later. Jake, thanks for the time. Charles writes in, enough with the chicken soup talk. I'm pissed because of the stupidity this show has succumbed to. Hello, Charles.
Enough with the stupidity. I understand this Lane Train guy may be a nice guy, but does he even know what he's talking about? I've been looking this Kenobyl guy nonstop. Here, I'll share you my screen with you. I know you're laughing, Jake.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Kenobyl.
Type in Kenobyl out of college. It comes right up. It's like the first search. Type it in.
I am out of college. There's no such thing as him.
You believe everything you see on the internet? You're telling me your Google is accurate right now?
Yes, it is accurate.
How is it possible, Charles, if Kenobyl's not real, that Gator was able to put together an entire draft profile?
Kenobyl, FP football player from college. He is 5'7", 109.8 LBS, prospect grade 0.0, production score 69, and an athletic score of 007. He's very good, gets flag penalties, but he's very, very good, and I'm very good at this, taking football players.
You're defending Lane Train, that's what you're doing.
He played for the Rhinos. You just saw it.
Jake, if you want to lose a subscriber, stop right now.
Charles, I will take Lane Train over anybody. So if you're going to unsubscribe to my channel over Lane Train, then you know what? You got to do what you got to do.
Stop defending Lane Train.
Charles.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, Jake. How about stop lying to yourself, stop lying to these people, and actually say the truth? I'm on your Discord, and one guy called Frankie Castle agrees with me.
Charles, I'll just keep playing Lane Train Sounders if you keep slandering the man.
I'm not slandering the man. I'm telling him. But you know what? I'm not in the mood right now. Goodbye.
Charles, thank you for the time. Well, people, are you Team Lane or Team Charles?
So when he was calling, he was so frustrated. And he's like, Jake, I'm Googling it right now. And Jake, he's just following the kind of, the line, how ridiculous can we go? And Jake goes, are you really going to trust your search engine over what we're saying?
I'm glad this guy called in because he was slandered earlier, and I will not stand for this.
Hi, how are you?
The Lane Train. What's up, Lane Kerner?
How are you? Great. The two for this draft coming up, who do you take going into the 10th round for the draft? Do you take Brian, or do you want to take there's a lot of different players. Who do you think?
Who's Brian?
Yeah, the guy that he drafted. Brian, what's his last name? Brian, you know?
What's Brian's last name? Do you know?
I forgot. There's a lot of other ideas. So who do you see going to the Jets in the 10th round, in the first round?
I really want them to take Kenobyl, and you brought him up a couple times.
Yeah, I know. But what happens if they don't get him? Then what do you do? Do you maybe go after somebody else? I don't think we need anybody else. I mean, I think that, you're going to work around the whole team going into next year.
Great point. Lane, thank you for the call. I hope you had a good Sunday.
You too. Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Charles's head is spinning after that call. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Kenobyl continues to rise up draft boards, right? So I put in an interview request with his agent to get Kenobyl on the show. We're going to do this live, and hopefully the internet connection's okay. We go live to Kenobyl. Kenobyl, thanks for joining the show. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Jake. Thanks for having me on the TubeView show. Happy to be here, man.
So before we do anything, can you clarify just the proper spelling of your name?
My name? Well, it's Kenobyl. but I lost my birth certificate and they spelled it wrong on my application to college. You could spell it with an E or an A or a C or a K. It's all dope all the time, bro.
Where are you from? Your fans are not really familiar with you.
I'm from Niau, a small island near Hawaii. We got like 350 people living here, and 37 of them are my relatives. We got one university, and our football team has 13 players, which is great because we get to play offense and defense.
Wow. All right. So, obviously you really have risen up draft rankings because the Lane Train has hyped you up and you have massive expectations. Is there any truth to the rumor you're having Kenobyl on your show?
Maybe.
Who the fuck do you think you are, Charles? I'm the Kenobyl, and I'm playing for the Jets next year. You better get used to it, motherfucker, because I'm coming to get you.
Did you see the interview we did with Kenobyl yesterday when he called in?
No, I did not.
I'm just kidding, Charles. I love you, man. You're the greatest. I just want to be your friend, okay? So, please do my friend. Motherfucker!
All right. Charles, thank you for the time today. Last night on a radio station in this town known as The Fan, WFAN, Keith McPherson took a call from Bobby Midnight, who wanted to ask some questions about Kenobyl.
All right, let's go back to Bob in Vermont.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think the Jets and Giants will do on the draft, your choices? And also, do you ever hear of a player from college called Kenobyl?
Kenobyl? From what school?
College.
Yeah, but what college?
It's just college. Do you ever hear that guy's name?
No, I've never heard of Kenobyl from college.
Kenobyl.
Kenobyl from college? What position does he play?
He plays offense and defense.
He plays offense and defense? He's a two-way guy?
Yep, that's what he said.
How do you spell the last name?
Kenobyl. I can't remember how you spell it. It starts with K, I know that.
Okay, because I'm spelling it wrong on Google.
No, Kenobyl.
Thanks for the call, Bob. I do not know who Kenobyl is. Maybe somebody listening knows of a player, a two-way player coming out of college that gives you like 300 options. I'm looking at Zoo. He's just laughing. I'm trying to find out. A two-way player plays offense and defense. Kenobyl is coming.
Do you ever hear of Kenobyl?
There were two listeners of mine who called WFAN asking two separate hosts if the Jets should take Kenobyl, and each host was like, they were stumped. They're like, I haven't done enough draft prep. I'm unaware. And they're reciting lines from the show.
John in Seaford, what's up, bud?
A lot of these Jets fans out there want Brock Bowers.
Yes, that is the sexy name surrounding the Jets.
I think the three options you go, O-line, receiver, or if Kenobyl out of college is there, you got to take Kenobyl. 5'7", 198, plays both sides of the ball. Not sure if you know him. Mel Kiper had him top 15 pick. What are your thoughts on Kenobyl?
I don't know him that well. I'll be totally honest with you. Bro, I got to do more draft prep. You said he plays both sides of the ball. Makes me think, who plays both sides of the ball in the NFL?
We now have Kenobyl's testing numbers. There's a reason why Kenobyl has skyrocketed off the draft boards here. He has tremendous testing numbers. It's tremendous. The only knock on Kenobyl is he's 5'7", 198. But he's a two-way player. He can play both sides of the ball. And if you were listening to WFAN last night, it was Rob from Glenhead, not Johnny Quest impersonating Rob from Glenhead, called in to ask FAN host Keith McPherson if the Jets should consider this Kenobyl guy.
Let's go to Rob in Glenhead first up on the Fan.
Well, yeah, I'm out right now with my friend Neil Chipotle, just chilling out, talking Jets, smoking cigars. I was listening yesterday to your show. The guy Bobby from Vermont called up about this guy Kenobyl. Yeah, I think I found out who he was talking about.
Okay, what college? What school?
I didn't get that, but there was an NFL Network did a spotlight on him. Neil, look up the college this kid went to. So it's pronounced Kenobyl when he was in an island, but then they changed to Kenobyl when he came over. They were talking about. I think his brother was a 7th round pick in like 2022. Dude, the kid. I don't know if he's going to go in the first round, but he plays receiver and nickel corner. His stats are crazy.
Do you know how to spell his last name? I have not heard of this kid.
Kenobyl. Neil, look it up. I can't spell shit. 40-yard dash, 4.3. Cone drill, 6.41. I don't even know if that's good. You know, you're an athlete. Is that good?
I guess 6.41. It could be faster.
Vertical 47.
No, that's ridiculous.
The fact is this: if you're getting a receiver and a nickel, if he plays receiver, we need a receiver, right? Because Lazard's terrible. And if he's nickel corner, we have Michael Carter, who I think is going to be a free agent next year. You can't afford him, so you replace him.
I don't know, but that's what confused me yesterday. We're talking about a two-way player getting drafted and expected to play both ways?
Yeah, dude. I never heard of it, so I saw it on the NFL Network. And then when Bobby was talking about it, I'm like, that sounds familiar. I looked it up. The crazy thing, he's from like some small island near Hawaii. They have like 350 kids. It was like 13 kids on his high school team. That's why he went both ways. I know most times in New York and New Jersey, everyone goes both ways.
In high school, yeah, but in college, that's why I'm like, I haven't been watching NFL Network.
If he can get this kid in the first, I don't think he's going to fall to 10, and maybe the Giants. Maybe the Cowboys get him. Where the Cowboys pick him?
24, they're cooked.
He'll probably be gone by then.
Do you know the spelling of his name?
Oh, Neil, you got that name?
Yeah, here
all
it
right.
is.
K-A-N-O.
Yep.
B-L-E. I'm going to hang up and listen, Keith. Be good, all right?
Yeah, thanks for the call. So we were talking last night. Yeah, Bob from Vermont called in, was talking about this kid, and I never heard of him. K-A-N-O-B-L-E NFL draft? Nah, you guys got to be trolling me. This is like the tale of like, I don't know, like a Bigfoot or something. Like this is a two-way player that plays wide receiver, nickel corner. He's got a 47-inch vertical. I haven't heard of the guy, but I don't think two different calls would call about this Kenobyl guy.
How did you hold it together, man? I'm dying. My ribs hurt from laughing at that.
I was just pacing back and forth, trying to get as much shit out as I could, dude. That green cone, the 6.41, I had no clue if that was good. That's why I asked him. Meanwhile, I looked it up after. That's a really good time. He's like, oh, it could be better than that. 47 vertical is ridiculous. My son was like, Dad, 47? I'm like, I don't know. I just made it up. Like, he kind of almost like, he's like, oh, it's fake. But he's like, no, it's got to be real.
And I'm getting like listeners like tweeting me graphics of like Kenobyl in a Jets jersey being like 1 week from today.
Bobby, good morning. How are you?
First, the Jets, okay? I wanted to see what you think about the Jets draft choice, and I got a choice that you might wanted to hear from. Like Kenobyl from college, he's supposed to be good. He plays both ways. He's from college. Do you ever hear of the guy?
Bob, you know what? I got to be honest with you, and I thank you for the phone call. There's a lot of guys who play in college. I'm not familiar with that name that you threw out there, to be quite honest with you. You guys know who he was talking about? Because it totally escaped my mind. The two-way prospect playing Ironman football, which, you know, like I said, not too familiar with there.
It went on so much further than I ever thought could be possible. It's some of the best shit I've ever seen.
Plenty on the table. Up to Vermont we go. It's Bob. It's the fan. What's going on, Bobby?
Hey, Moose. I heard about this player called Kenobyl from college. Do you ever hear Kenobyl from college?
No. Who's that?
His name is Kenobyl. He plays both ways from college.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
You never heard of Kenobyl?
No. And Bob, thanks a lot for the call. It's been forever.
This whole thing just happened so organically. Like, and I have Buffalo on every Wednesday on my show, and we were just taking calls, and Lane called in, and he starts saying the Jets should draft this guy, and he couldn't figure out the guy's name, and then he just says Kenobyl out of college. We're like who?
And that was the origin.
That was it. He just said that, and then like we turned it into this whole character. He can play too. He's the best player of the draft. He can play, but he plays all 22 positions. And like,
oh my God.
And then like the listeners just ran with it and like gave him like an origin story, and then Gator does what Gator does. He gave him a scouting report, and now we're getting like 3 people calling the fan in the last 24 hours.
I hope it never stops.
We have a great coach in Robert Saleh, I think.
You think?
Yeah, he's great.
What makes him great?
Because he knows how to coach a team. He gets really competitive.
Do you want me to throw the podium on the floor?
He yells at those guys like, come on. He throws his headset. He said, are you crazy? What is going on? No more questions. Next media?
Lane Train. What's up, Lane?
Hi. How is everything? Yes?
Lane?
Oh, hello. Hi. Did you see Aaron Rodgers on the Patrick McAfee program on the YouTube?
What happened?
Look, okay. Do you think he should play football for the Jets this year? Or maybe wait until the next time he can play next year?
I think he should play for the Jets this year, Lane.
Did you watch the Charles Gorman show on the YouTube? He has his own channel, and it's really interesting.
Oh, Chiefs fan. Oh, shit. Oh, let me bring him in.
Hey, Charles, Chiefs fan here.
I can't see your mouth.
Do you collect used bandages?
What use bandages?
I have a 1987 Band-Aid from an AIDS-infected Rock Hudson before he kicked the bucket. Anyway, gotta go because my battery is about to run out.
No problem. Oh, V-Man's here.
Oh, get him in.
What the fuck is happening here?
Oh my! What are you talking about?
Maybe for Jake's show, you could arm wrestle me. Then after we make some coquito and slap each other silly, would you be into that?
Oh, there's Red Diddy. He's still trying to get in here. Should I ban him?
No, let Chiefs fan in. Let's see him.
Am I still frozen?
Yes.
Oh, fucking bullshit. I just spilled gravy on my nuts. Let me call back.
Oh my God.
What? Oh my God. On one hand, I'm really sad because I thought Lane called in. On the other hand, that was an epic Gator call. Oh my God. What did we just watch?
Oh.
Oh, am I on right now? I guess I am. How'd that happen? My mic's on. I guess the commercial ended. Check 1 2. Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Hold on. Let me do a reset. Testing. All right, we should be back. Appreciate you guys. I just got off the radio here. Let's get to the remaining show. I want to get to the super chats first. Then we are going to raffle away a Jets jersey of your choosing. For those who missed it, I'll see if I can isolate the segment and I'll put it on the YouTube channel. But I just did a 15-minute hit on the afternoon show on ESPN New York. So that's where I just was. And now to your super chats. Omari says Fields just sits in the pocket looking like a frog. Well, he definitely sat in the pocket and didn't throw the ball, didn't pull the trigger. I mean, I went back and started rewatching the game. I couldn't even get through it. I was so disgusted. This throw, though, at the end of the game. Enough said. Mr. Flowers writes in, MC2, I'd like to keep him, maybe try him at strong safety, willing tackler, dog leader. We need more of that. Plus, good at both zone and man. I don't know what Michael Carter's future is. He could be someone they deal potentially. Do they try him at safety? I mean, I wouldn't be against it. He played it in college. I'm not sure. I do think the way Brownlee played, though, that's his job, even if Carter's healthy. I thought Brownlee, maybe he could play both them in different packages, but I thought Brownlee was excellent yesterday. 6 Rings writes in, oh God, you can even give that pick for a huge package and build around the team. Yes, if the Jets wanted to trade out of one, could they? For sure. Are they likely to do it if they love one of these quarterbacks? No, that's just not how it works. Jesse says, Glenn started off wrong by firing Rodgers in the offseason. His OC and DC coordinators all suck. I don't know if that alone was the biggest issue, right? I don't think Aaron Rodgers on this team would have them much better than 2 wins right now because I think the coaching has been that bad. I don't think it would have worked with Rodgers, and I think we all would be blaming Rodgers for the issues, and the real problem would be Aaron Glenn. It'd be not quite the same because Zach was actually really responsible for a lot of the issues, but it'd be like, and I'm guilty of this, blaming Zach Wilson, and then here's Robert Saleh, who also happens to be a problem, but it got accentuated when Zach wasn't there to be the scapegoat, right? I think that would be the potential issue. Omari with a super chat. Crazy part. Last quarterback sacked 9 times and still put up those numbers was Justin Fields. I know. I saw that stat too. Get him the hell out of here. Every week we get worse. So I just said on ESPN New York, there's supposed to be improvement. Stephen Fox says Bleacher Report said Aaron Glenn was on the list of the top 10 or 10 worst Wonderlic scores in combine history. The test helped teams gauge a player's capacity to learn, adapt, and make quick decisions. I'm not going to sit here and say that Aaron Glenn's not smart. Was how he coached yesterday, was it smart in a football sense? No. I don't think that was the issue, though. Like, I don't think I don't think he doesn't have the brain capacity to be a head coach. I don't think that's their problem. I could be wrong. I just don't think that's the issue here. I also don't even know if what you're saying is true. I'd have to see that article before I just go with it. Chew writes, and I miss Saleh and Zach Wilson. Let's not be dumb here. Come on now. Let's not be crazy. All right. A couple things could be true. Robert Saleh Had enough time to turn it around. He didn't. And Zach Wilson's not very good. And to this point, neither is Aaron Glenn. A couple things are allowed to be true here. Edward says, hi, love the show. Edward, thank you. Mike Perez in our raffle for 2. He says, I would feel comfortable with Glenn being one and done if we have some type of under-the-table agreement that the coach with experience will want to come, would hate to fire him and be stuck. See, that to me is not enough to not make a change if you feel like you can't move forward with him. There's guys that will take this job. Do I know off the top of my head who? No, but I'd imagine Brian Flores would interview again. I imagine Mike McCarthy, who's out of football this year and reportedly wants back in, would interview again, right? I'd imagine you would be able to get people interested in this job. It's the Jets. You might have the first pick in the draft in this scenario I'm playing out of my head where you would have to make the move because you didn't want Glenn and Muji to draft the QB. It's an attractive job. Maybe Harbaugh gets fired. Maybe Stefanski gets fired, 2-time coach of the year in Cleveland. RJ says, how is Glenn overseeing our future number 1 overall quarterback different than Gerard Mayo's development of May? Was it because the Pats didn't know Mayo sucked yet? Yeah. Yeah. And if you recall, Robert Kraft, I'm sure, wanted to hire Mike Vrabel, but he had already promised Gerard Mayo he was the coach in waiting. Mike Vrabel getting fired was a surprise, remember. Mike Vrabel wasn't supposed to be fired. Him getting fired was a huge surprise. I think if Robert Kraft knew Vrabel was going to be available, he wouldn't have guaranteed the job to Mayo. Cheese Man, last time a team had less net passing yards was 98. And still the balls to get mad at a question to bench Fields. Unreal. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I saw that stat. Well, Ryan Leaf was the quarterback, right, in 98 for that Chargers team. Ugh. Jake, tell your fanboy supporters to apologize to Frankie V. He was right. What was he right about? What was his specific take? You have to clarify. We all give a lot of opinions. Sometimes we're right and wrong. I'm not saying Frankie wasn't right. I just don't know what he said in this case. Kyle Clifton in the raffle for 5. He says, Matt Nagy's a top candidate in Tennessee. Is he really? Come on. We got to do a do-over for the guy recalled the most head coach-ready assistant he's ever had. Give him the Joe Torre-esque second chance. I really don't want to go Matt Nagy if you're going to do a second go-around this offseason with the hiring cycle. I mean, do I think he could be better than what we have seen from Aaron Glenn? Sure, the bar is pretty low. I don't know, man. I'd rather hire Mike McCarthy, though. I think he would take the job. He has experience developing a quarterback. He's won a lot of games. He worked for Jerry Jones. He can handle dealing with Woody Johnson. Ace of Spades says, would another NFL coach opt against a field goal? Maybe. Probably not, though. I mean, Glenn's excuse for not taking the field goal there was he said he thought it was a 65 or a 68-yarder. He didn't have a clear understanding on what the distance was. That's another sign of a coach that is completely inept. Your kicker hit from 58 earlier in the season. So 62 is not unreasonable. And even if he doesn't hit it, is anyone killing Aaron Glenn if he made that decision to kick based on what we saw from Fields? We'd be killing him for not benching Justin Fields, which I will continue to do so because that was malpractice by any NFL head coach. But that individual decision, if he kicked and Nick Folk, let's say, didn't hit it, I don't know if we'd be killing him for that. I don't think we would. I know I wouldn't be. I'd be fair. Dean says AG's like Fields. He's coaching scared and Fields is playing scared. Yeah, I think when your coach is scared, it does rub off on the team. I think there's something to be said for that. That's fair. Reptar Mike says, Jake, how do you feel about the discussion we had at the golf outing now? Are you out on him? Do you understand why the tank is a necessary evil now? I'm not there yet. I would like to see Aaron Glenn win games and turn them around. I'm not going to tell you how to fan, though, Reptar. If you want the Jets to go 0-17 like you told me 3 games in at that point in time you did, then God bless. Right? Like, what am I going to say? Like, you're crazy for feeling that way? You fan how you want to fan. Me personally, when I'm at MetLife on Sunday with a bag on my head, I'll be rooting for the Jets to win. Craig says, AG taking shots at Salah looks very weak in hindsight. Agreed. Barney says, Frankie was right. These are stupid losses. Horrendous losses. Rye writes in, Gruden, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. I don't think Gruden's going to get an NFL job again. I agree with what Joe B was saying. I think he's kind of blackballed right now. Barney says this is what AG should say. It's my fault. Well, I mean, the only thing he took accountability for today was the debacle before halftime, saying that they should have thrown a Hail Mary. But I still didn't love that full answer he gave because he didn't explain properly why they were aggressive on the fake punt. And then from the fake punt, then decided to sit on the ball. He's like, oh, we were all confused. Like the ref wasn't sure if it was a first. Like, dude, you can't be confused in that spot. You're the head coach. Get clarity from the official. Demand an official's timeout. Like, he basically said, I'm confused. Let's just, you know what? We have the ball. Let's sit on it. Let's go to halftime. We're getting the ball to start the third. You can't coach scared that way. And Garrett Wilson flipping on him. Now the whole team sees that. He better have shown more accountability with his players in the meeting this morning when they were there at the facility than what he did with the media when he spoke on Zoom. DeRhino says, was definitely rooting for you guys yesterday. DeRhino, I just went on the radio and referenced Houston having 3 coaches in 3 years, how I covered that. Must be nice. Texans playing tonight, right? We got a doubleheader. Nate says, imagine Glenn walks into practice Wednesday and Nick Folk is drilling 62-yarders over and over with this team just staring Glenn down as it happens. Look, I said it. No team is better Wednesday through Friday than the Jets. Would it surprise you if Nick Folk is draining kick after kick in practice? We don't see it because we're not there, but it wouldn't surprise me. That's for sure. ISU says, Frankie, Dan Campbell coached 5 one-score losses the first year. They started 0-10-1. 4 of those 10 losses were one-score losses, all by a field goal or less. I think the one-score stuff is incredibly misleading, right? Aaron Glenn's got a lot of one-score losses too. Yesterday was a one-score loss. Do you think that you feel good about that game because you lost to a team that was a big favorite over you, right? Like, that's why you got to watch the games. The Jets were an underdog yesterday by a touchdown. I don't care. They should have won yesterday, right? So just, oh, well, that's a one-score loss. So was the game in Miami where they were outplayed the whole night. That was a one-score loss too because they scored a touchdown late and then attempted the onside kick and they lost 27-21. That's technically a one-score loss too. Does that make you feel better? The Jets were horrible that night. They committed 13 penalties, 9 on offense, had 3 turnovers, but it was a one-score loss. Okay. Well, who'd you play? Oh, you played another team that's 0-3 at the time? And look at Miami since then, by the way. Look how they lost their last 2 games to Carolina and then yesterday to the Chargers. Look what Tua said afterwards. That's the team the Jets lost. The star quarterback for the Dolphins coming out saying that people aren't even showing up to their players-only meetings and they have a leadership problem. Like, dude, you're the quarterback. You're supposed to be the leader. That's who the Jets lost to. That's how bad this football team is that we all, for whatever reason, still root for, right? Like, that's what we're talking about, man. Hennessy says it makes sense why Allen wanted Aaron Glenn now.
1-16 and change the regime.
Nobody is happier than Allen with this debacle. He is just tenting all day. Spencer Green in the raffle for 2. Thank you, Spencer. For what it's worth, the Jets sent nobody to watch Moore or Mendoza, one of about 6 teams. I saw that. I don't know, man. Apparently, the Jets didn't have a scout at the Indiana-Oregon game over the weekend. They sent no representation. Now, am I going to go nuts about this? No. Is it a bad look? Sure. Will there be ample opportunities for them to scout these guys? Yes. And they could watch the all-22, but you know, it was peculiar, to say the least, that they didn't have anyone. Kale writes, in good spot on ESPN. I like what Alan said. Oh, thanks for listening. I like what Alan said. If you take a look at this roster, there's a lot of players who won't be back next year. We had a decent draft class for returning talent, but AG got to do better. Yeah, I thought we had a healthy discussion. Look, I don't want Aaron Glenn fired. Don got bad information there. I made that very clear. What I'm saying is he has not earned the right to be back for a second year if it continues to look like this. I don't care if you don't want a one-and-done coach and he needs more time. AG has to improve. But my criticism of Glenn is, while yes, he needs to get more of his guys, he completely misevaluated what he had then. Because he chose to keep the Michael Clemens and Xavier Gibsons of the world and re-sign the Isaiah Olivers of the world and bring back the Tony Adams of the world. He chose to do these things. He didn't bring in a bunch of his guys like Bart Scott, Jim Leonard, right? Like what Rex did. The only former Lion he brought in was Josh Reynolds, who wasn't a Lion last year. He was a Lion a couple of years ago. Barney says ESPN, big boys picking fights with Jake. I'm happy to join them. It's good for the show. It's good for the station. Happy to do it. Mackle says another problem with Fields is that a scrambling quarterback is supposed to create open receivers when scrambling to the line of scrimmage. Fields becomes a runner instantly after leaving the pocket. Well, they also do a terrible job of designing plays for him to have the run pass option. Remember Sanchez's rookie year? They tried to make his reads as simple as possible. So they'd roll him out a lot. So he had half the field to decide whether to check it down, throw to the tight end, or tuck it and run, or throw it away. Where are those for Justin Fields? And I get it. He's in his 5th year. You shouldn't need to have that simplistic of an offense. But you know what? The job of the head coach is to make sure the team's in position to win, however that's possible. That's on Aaron Glenn. Say something to your offensive coordinator who you handpicked. Joe says, AG loves Fields. We're going to draft the safety at 1. No, they're not. Jets draft the safety at 1. This show is dead.
That's not football. That's not a man. That's a bitch.
Can't do it. All right. If you're on hold, I promise we're going to get to you, but I am going to the Knicks game tonight. So we got to rapid fire through these calls. But I promise if you're on hold, we're going to get you. So stay there if you want your voice heard on this version of the show. First up today is one of the all-time greats.
He's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the Jets, super jets. He's a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Well, that's a big fella.
Hey, man. Great show. Great show. Frankie was on it today. I'm a big critic of Frankie, but I have to give him credit where credit's due. He was on it today.
Man, he nailed it. He might have nailed his best appearance ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, being a Jet fan, we know what it's like to lose. We've been through a lot of losses, and we could deal with losses. But Aaron Glenn should know this from being a Jet. You don't bullshit us. You don't lie to us. We see what's going on. We're intelligent football fans. And his press conference was just that. It was all bullshit. Now, I want to give him the year, but it's getting to the point where it's, I'm having serious doubts. Serious doubts. Now, for one, Fields has not been good this season. Fields has been shit this season. Fields is a stat patter. All he does is pad his stats at the end of games. Everybody sees this. For the first 3 quarters, he can't do shit. The last quarter when we're losing, he pads his stats. Guys were open yesterday. You can't say guys need to get open. Guys were open. The protection yesterday was great. The protection yesterday was really, really good. You can't say we need better protection. That's bullshit too. And Herm, he must have been a Texan at this time. But Herm Edwards all taught us you play to win the game. You play to win the game. During the second half at the end, he wasn't playing to win the game. He was playing to run the clock out. You have to play to win the game. Now, also holding people accountable. He needs to hold himself accountable. Isaiah Williams still put the ball on the floor yesterday. He went down, and he's lucky the ground caused the fumble because he fumbled the freaking ball. All right, and Fields needs to be accountable because he sucks. He's so bad. And one more thing. Well,
That's not football. That's not a man. That's a bitch.
2 more things. Jermaine is the most important player on this team, in my opinion. He
is a leader, and this team lacks leaders. That guy is the definition of an alpha.
He is the most important player on this team. And I saw rumors about trading him. If you trade him, you idiots, there's going to be a revolution in this fucking town because that guy is amazing. He's coming off an ankle injury, and he's dominating the game. Okay, he made our defense finally not look like shit. Okay, and the last thing, I have to disagree with you on this. I trust Muji with our draft because of what we've done so far with the players that we've seen that he drafted last year. Now, if we get rid of Glenn, I hope we keep Muji. I really do. I mean, I don't know if that would happen. Maybe not, but I think Muji should deserve some credit with that because he also traded for Briggs and Phillips. He also got Brownlee. Yeah, we had bad signings over the preseason, and he needs to be held accountable for that. But recently, his stuff has been great, and that's all I got, my man.
Mr. Big Fella, well done. And your thoughts on Pork going nuts, by the way, as someone who likes to calm people down. Usually it's Beast. Do you have anything you want to say to Pork of the morning?
Take it easy, my man. It ain't that serious.
You know what? It actually is.
That's not football! That's not a man! That's a bitch!
This team, man. The best fans that we don't deserve this. We really don't. All right. Home stretch here. Some super chats here. Peter Stores checks in. Hello, Peter. You're in the raffle for 2. This is the last show to enter the raffle, by the way, for the weekly prizes. There is a field signed jersey. That's not what you guys care about. You care about the signed Sauce and the signed Bart Scott jerseys. But yeah, someone will win the Justin Fields jersey signed by the man himself tomorrow. So those are the 3 prizes. Ladies and gentlemen, your remaining calls, shall we? Let's say hello to Rick, who's up next on the show. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Jake, how are you? Man, I'm getting too old for this stuff. I mean, this is, you know how long I've been following this team. This is as bad as I have ever seen it. If I buy your stock and it turns out to be a bust, I sell it. Cut your losses. I know you want to give Aaron Glenn a shot, but to me, he has demonstrated that his football IQ as a head coach is so low. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. I might be one of the few people who actually thinks there's a reasonable amount of talent on this team. And if we had the right coach, we would be a lot better off. I would say, you might think I'm crazy, 500 or more. The defense played phenomenal yesterday. And I think it wasn't because of Wilkes. It was because they had a players-only meeting. And they said, the hell with this. Let's just get it done the way we're supposed to. Now, what Woody Johnson has to do more than anything else, and then I'll let you respond, is get a great coach in New York. That's where the money should be going. Yes, do we need to draft a quarterback? Absolutely. Tyrod Taylor should play for the rest of the year. Fields has demonstrated that he is not an NFL quarterback. He is a high school running quarterback. And Tyrod at least brings them the opportunity of a pro offense. And to see Garrett go off at the half with the most insane run out of the clock. And by the way, I wouldn't have done a Hail Mary. I would have done a quick out to get the 4th and 1 first down. And then I would have spiked the ball and see, with the 25 seconds we have left, what we could do to try to get it down the field.
Completely fair. The way it was handled, whatever you would have chose, it would have been a better idea than how the Jets approached that.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying there was an opportunity. I guarantee you most great coaches would have not gone for the Hail Mary. They would have got a quick first down,
Agreed.
Get right back to the line of scrimmage, spike the ball, and then,
any coach with a brain, Rick, would have sat Justin Fields at halftime or at any point in the second half.
I was sending texts all over the place. Tyrod's got to start the second half. Tyrod, the way that first half ended, as bad as Glenn was, Fields was like a deer in headlights. I never seen a team run 30 seconds off the clock where the Jets were. It's insane. This is so low. Back in the day, Alex Webster coached the Giants way back when. And he was also one of those guys who was more of a fan than a coach. And that to me is what Glenn is with your great mockery of his Will McDonald dance. Glenn is more of a fan than a coach. He should have back then been planning on the last minute and 49 defense to make a stop instead of doing this crazy dance down the sidelines. He has no head coach IQ. I feel sad about that because he was a great player, but he is not even close to being qualified. That was a freaking snow job that he gave us. He's like the friend that you have who thinks that, they could be a nuclear scientist and they never even graduated high school. We all have friends or people we know who value their abilities a lot more than they are, and that's why they keep getting fired. Because somebody gives them the job and then they obviously can't do it. That's where we are with Glenn. So whether they give him the end of the season or not, he is not the guy. And we need to prioritize getting a really respectable. McCarthy is a perfect choice because one thing we know is he knows how to coach. That's all I got, man.
Well said, Rick. Well
I'm
said.
beat.
Hang in there, Rick. Hang in there. It was great to meet you
yeah.
in Tampa, and hopefully better days are ahead at some point.
I'm not quitting. If I haven't quit by now, I'm not quitting on this team, although this season is obviously done.
Hey, but just think how much worse it would be if they weren't having great practices. There's always a bright spot.
Yeah, really, great practices. What a clown. And that presser yesterday, that was such, Costello's question was a perfectly legitimate question. And I pray to God that he comes to his senses and Tyrod starts this weekend. And I don't want to lose Garrett because he is so great and so mature. He is a gift. And the same thing goes for Breece Hall. I mean, I don't know what to say. There is a lot of talent on this team. The offensive line has improved. Yeah, there's some weak spots, but I guarantee you, if we had the right coach, we wouldn't be talking 0-6. No worse than 3-3 at this point.
Now, back to
I
your
got gas
back to
right now.
Rick, great call. Appreciate it. Now, B sent me an email, and I'll get to that before we wrap. But actual breaking news on the Jets.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Rich Cimini first reported it. Adam Schefter adding more clarity to it. Garrett Wilson, MRI, revealed that he has a hyperextended knee, and he's expected to miss, according to one source, a couple weeks. Now, the Jets have 2 games to go before their bye. They play home against Carolina. They play at Cincinnati. I don't think we see Garrett if it's a couple of weeks in either. Then he has the bye week. Then he'll be back post-bye for Cleveland. So that sucks. And you could blame 2 people for Garrett Wilson getting hurt. The head coach for sticking with the quarterback you see on the screen, who was so late throwing this pass to Garrett Wilson here that it became a hospital ball. That put Garrett Wilson in a spot where he had to contort his body, go to the ground, and he suffered an injury that now is going to keep him out at least 2 games. And you know what? Garrett Wilson wanted Justin Fields, so the pain never stops. All right, couple calls left. Let's bring on the beast, but first let's read his latest email. We call it on the show Beast Mail. Quote, "This team needs to grow a set of balls. I've had just enough of the nonsense. Aaron Glenn should be moved from head coach to defensive coordinator. Then what I can do is have 2 guys that have balls of steel. I'm adding a secret weapon. Plus, the $10 billion that I want, since this team needs a revamp and we need fresh new talent. No quarterbacks. I want weapons on this abysmal team. I need 2 wide receivers, another tight end, another running back, plus new defensive line. Also, a tub for healing. Yes, I'm thinking an ace tub is going to hurt, but this team needs to grow some balls. Act like a team and start working together within the system. Learn the plays, work together, and win some goddamn games and look like a championship caliber team that has balls. Start now and end the season at least 9 or 10 wins. For God's sake, at least do your damn job, or we'll do it for you. Bottom line, by any means necessary. Team Storm. P.S. Move your asses now. For more on this incoherent email, we say hello to this guy.
Time is over. I've just about had it up to here. Enough. The abysmal, no, there's no work in this team. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's working together. They're just standing there with fingers up their asses looking for dingleberries.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is a family show.
Calm your freaky down.
That's truth number one right there. Number two, if you want to win this, if you really want this season to look good, start acting like a goddamn team or we'll do it for you. I got a couple guys that could do this job, and I'm going to add the secret weapon special. And I know, and I can't tell you that secret weapon surprise just yet. See, I got something up my sleeve. See, the Dangerous Alliance is not just one step, we're 10 steps ahead of the game. See, you want to play with masterminds? Play with this mastermind here. Come on. Come on. Let's see if you boys can learn to actually act like a team instead of sitting there playing footsie or whatever. You want to win games? I'll tell you what. To Glenn and Moonji, you got 5 days. 5 days to give me a call. My phone is on. It's been repaired.
Hey, what's your number?
You already know, player. You already know.
Look, Aaron Glenn.
You already know the game.
Glenn just texted me, Beast. He goes, "I'm watching. What's his number?"
Get it. You'll get it. Get it in the email. You'll get it.
He doesn't have email. He just said.
Oh, well, he better learn to use it because we got Gmail.
Oh, no, he's calling me. He's calling. Oh, no, he's calling me.
I don't want to hear it.
Hey, G, what's up, man?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I got Beast on the line. All right, so you're watching. So if he gives you the number, you'll call him? Bet. All right, appreciate it. Hey, my piece of advice for you this week is win a game, all right? You got it. Thank you, Coach. Hey, Beast, what's your number? He's listening. Go ahead.
I'll throw it to you in the email department, and when I do send it to you, give it to him. And I expect a phone call. That means 5 days. This is business days. I expect it, and I'm not joking around. This is not a game anymore. Nobody gives a shit.
Well said, Beast. Thank you. All right. Super chat here. Spencer says, Beast, I destroyed your alliance, you bum. Apologize now. Beast, you want to respond? Go ahead.
Suck this, pal, and you've just been demoted. See ya.
Hey, hey, Beast, big fella says he joined the Dangerous Alliance.
Big fella is in the alliance. Why? Because I know how to get good talent. See, all you got to do is follow the money. Follow money wisely. You want to win? Abracadabra.
Peter Storrs says, I've got nothing left to say. I wanted this Jet alumni to succeed. He wanted the job. It would have been awesome. It would have been a great story, but instead, same old Jets. That's how a lot of people feel. Look, there's still time to turn it around. That's the best I could do for you. All right. No one has gifted a membership yet. I'm shocked. I'm not doing a full show for 2 hours and 12 minutes, and no one in the community is going to benefit. So I'm going to pay it forward myself. I'm going to give 5 memberships. And if you hear your name called, you're entered in our raffle for a Jets jersey of your choosing coming up. And you're going to be entered in our weekly raffle tomorrow on the show. So I'm gifting 5 memberships right now. And if you hear your name called, you are going to be made a Jake Asman Show official Asmaniac. Ladies and gentlemen, hit it. The following 5 people are channel members. Mr. Leany, that's Leany in North Carolina, his wonderful husband. Andre Cali, Brandon Halam, Voice of Reason, and Hollywood Ruiz. And as I was talking about no one gifting, our guy, Black Gypsy, comes through for the great people of the Asmaniac community. He gifted a channel membership. Oh, we actually have a couple more coming through at the end here. Peg and Artie in the house. They are gifting a channel membership. Peg and Artie got married over the weekend, so congrats to them. Oh, we got even more here. I should have said we had no one gifting earlier. Eli gifting 5. Hey, now.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Eli Betts in for 5. We're not done. Anthony Logerato is in for 5. Let's go. He's playing to win a jersey of his choosing.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Oh, yeah. Got him down. Beautiful. Keep it coming. Last chance to get in if you want a chance at any of our prizes on this show and then the 3 tomorrow. We got 2 calls left. Then I got to go. Josh and then Chuck Wagon will close. Hello, Josh.
Jake, I mean, I tried to warn you guys. It's hard for this team to be this bad for so long, but it sucks that Garrett's out. Justin Fields was awful. What I wanted to ask you is, which game did you dislike more? When we effectively lost by 30 to Buffalo, or when the defense plays the best game of the season and the offense only comes up with field goals?
I mean, they're horrific, Josh. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't know, it's brutal,
They
but
should have won yesterday, though. As bad as the offense was, as bad as the quarterback was, the head coach had a responsibility to the other 52 guys on the team to do what was in the best interest of winning that game, and he failed to do it.
100%. And I think there's plenty of blame to go around here, and it's I'm not gonna flame Aaron Glenn for losing 6 straight games, but it's also like if you don't turn this around, you're talking about one and done. But man, you gotta the sights are now set on what pick you're talking about, and 6 weeks into a season where people had this team as a double-digit win team is just ridiculous. But I'm all aboard the Lenora Sellers train, so feels like draft season's already here, which sucks. But
Oh, don't shoot me.
Jets continue to waste their primetime slots, embarrass themselves on national TV. So
That's the thing, right, Josh?
it's
You're the only
clear-
one who's brought that up. Great point. This team doesn't even have that many primetime games this year.
No,
And
only
the
one
2
left.
times, right, and the 2 times they played in primetime, they embarrassed themselves. The Miami game was a joke. They got lucky there was another game also going on at the same time, so
Yeah,
it wasn't as highly scrutinized as it should have been. And this game yesterday, everyone was up early, drinking their coffee, and watching a dog crap product that the Jets gave the Brits yesterday. Just horrible.
Yeah, I'd probably stop watching football if I went to a football game, and that's what happened when I showed up.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I don't know, man. By the way, I just saw this stat from Nick Faria. The Jets do not have a single wide receiver with over 5 catches this year besides Garrett.
Josh Reynolds had like 3 on one drive, and then he's been checked out for the rest of the season.
This team is terrible. Josh,
Oh my goodness.
hang in there. Maybe before you die, the Jets will win 9 games in a year.
Yeah, maybe they'll make the playoffs. I don't know. That seems like a long way.
Whoa. Let's not go crazy now.
No, yeah, that's sorry. Maybe they'll have a winning record. Oh, sorry, too crazy.
Do you think you're going to sound like Pork one day?
That's not a man! That's a bitch!
I mean, that's how I feel when I watch every snap of this team. It's so bad. And this is like the first week of the season where we're not talking about how many, terrible turnovers and how many missed tackles there were for the secondary, and they still find a way to somehow make it worse. Like
That's
literally,
right.
this is one game of the year where I can't, scream at Brandon Stevens for being one of the worst corners I've ever seen touch a football field. And the secondary makes plays. They limit a playoff caliber offense. And oh my goodness, Justin Fields just single-handedly walked his career out of the NFL. Like maybe the CFL is calling, but other than that, I can't imagine what's in store left for him. So it was awful, Jake.
Hang in there, Josh. Better days might be ahead. I don't know.
Probably not. Thanks though. Just progressively gets worse every week. See
Ladies
you
and
later.
gentlemen, Josh.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're shit.
Chuck Wagon, close us out, my friend.
Hey, Jake. I had just one question. What are you going to do when the Jets are still with 0 wins and they have to play the division again? What are you going to do in your survivor pool?
That's a great point. I was hoping I'd be long eliminated by then. I don't know. I guess I'll actually have to make my own picks. But, I mean, my strategy of just picking who the Jets are playing has me as the last standing local host on ESPN New York. So, I don't know.
That's pretty sad.
I know I'm still in it for another week because you could thank the Broncos for winning yesterday. So, I'm taking Carolina this week. We'll see.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. So,
well, one of the division games is very late in the year. The second time, it's the Bills. They play Miami again. I got to look at the schedule. They play Miami in December. They play New England twice. So let's see let's say the Jets keep losing. When would I actually have to make my own survivor pick and not pick against the Jets? The first time I'd be faced with that scenario would be Not till December 7th. So I still got long ways to go before I'd have to worry about it because they played New England week 11 and played New England week 17. Then they played Buffalo week 18. So the division games are all towards the end of the year. So we're okay for now.
Well, it's still possible. There's a chance.
Oh, there is definitely a chance. This team is that poorly coached and that bad.
It happens.
Only to us, seemingly, but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Is that all you had,
Enjoy the
Chuck?
game. Yeah, I was just cooking dinner, so yeah, I had a lot of time to kill.
I like it. What are you cooking?
I did sausage and peppers, and I did home fries with onions.
That looks tremendous. Let me bring on my resident chef for his opinion. Beast, what do you think?
Let me take a look at this, please. Let's see here. Very nice. Looks very tremendous. That looks splendid. Very well done.
Why are you
Nice.
talking with a British accent, Beast?
It looks good. It's delicious. It looks very spot on.
What's up with the accent, though? You're not British.
Where's your buns? Are you gonna use buns with them sausages?
No. Nope.
Oh
Nope.
my!
I just cut them up and eat it without the bun. No buns.
What?
No buns.
All right, have it your way. Well, you enjoy your dinner, and let's go on now. Move along. You could kiss my big ass. Woo!
Great call, Chuck. I have no idea why Beast decided he was British, but we're all better off because he did. All right, who's ready for a raffle? I'm assembling the Wheel of Champion names right now. Someone's going to win a Jets jersey of their choosing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go, folks. Here we go. Black Gypsy with another one. You're lucky we like you, Black Gypsy. We'll do it live. Black Gypsy in the raffle for another entry. Well done, Mr. Gypsy. PViz is the recipient, by the way, of Black Gypsy's gifted membership. All right. Only one can win. If you win, you got to email me your name, your address, the Jets player you want the jersey of, the color you want the jersey in, and the size. And I'll take care of the rest for you. Good luck to everyone. And again, thanks to everyone who supports the show. We would not be able to do these every show if we didn't get tremendous support from the Asmaniac community. Here we go. I'll shuffle the names one more time. And the winner is... Kale 007. Kale listened to my spot on ESPN New York, then came back in for the remainder of the show, and he got himself a jersey out of it. How about that, Kale? Congratulations, man. AsmanJake@gmail is where you could email me your information and the player, color, and size you want for that jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kale. He's today's winner. Hit it, Aaron Glenn.
Now, let's go to our club.
All right, we're back tomorrow. Robbie Sabo will join me at 10 a.m. So get ready for that. Again, thank you to everyone who supports the show. We are all in this together, Jet fans, as bad as things are. We'll be here commiserating daily. It's what we do. No show better at it, I would argue, than this show with the community we have. So we're here for you daily. I'm going to leave right now. I'm headed to the Knick game. It might be preseason, but they're a real team. And I can't wait to watch them because that's all I have right now as a sports fan. The Islanders stink. The Jets stink. The Yankees are done. Let's go, Knicks. I'll talk to you guys soon. JETS, 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 Jets. Take it away, Beast. Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's also an
Nobody gives a shit.
Hold on. I'm having some glitches here, Rich.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.